game, and we got a lot more shady at the very end of last session when like a loud sound was heard from upstairs in Lady Magdalena Tressen's home, her estate, and then everybody ran upstairs to find her sort of standing there in shock, and then blood and gore all over the place, and it looks like the head and body of Commander Valisar sort of like is strewn about the room, and that's where we left off.
Oh shit! Yeah, Valisar's dead. Oh, rip. Yeah. Man, how did I figure that? Okay, so yeah, we have just stumbled into the room where he's been beheaded. Is there anyone else in the room?
So we just ended with you guys just getting like the initial like look.
Yeah.
So we'll pick up there and
Okay.
take it from there.
Okay, so before we begin today's show, see you later, Brian. Before we begin today's show, remind you guys a few ways you can interact with our show. The first of which is you can retweet our tweets, and when we hit 25 retweets, you guys get a viewer decision where you get to decide what happens in our game. And we are just 30 followers away from a viewer decision, so we'll have a second one then, which could be pretty exciting. Of course, you can affect our game via donations, giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, that sort of stuff. In this game, seeing as we're playing Open Legend, you can affect it slightly differently by giving players advantage and stuff like that. So the rules are slightly different, but the feeling is still the same. And that's it. A quick few announcements. There's no Dungeon Masters Workshop tonight, and there's no Numenera tomorrow night. Because I'm moving over to America, I'm packing tonight, and then I won't get into America until late. So no shows after this one until Tuesday, hopefully. And we'll let you know about Tuesday, so hopefully I have everything set up by then. But if not, then we'll be back on Wednesday. But let's see, that's what we know so far.
How long is the big man, the CEO, going to be stateside, I wonder?
I'm over there for 2 months, yeah.
2 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I had no idea. I thought it was like a week or two.
No, yeah. Full big old visit. But yeah, so this is the last you see me in the UK for a long time, so I'll be streaming from the US for a while, which will be...
Well, it's 2 months until Sydney gets sick of him.
Yeah, pretty much. Whichever comes first.
Probably would have been better not to give the timetable in retrospect.
Yeah, just to keep it kind of,
Yeah, exactly.
fluid. But yeah, I will. I'll shut up and I'll let the game begin, I guess.
Well, actually, before we start, one thing I was going to say was everybody leveled up between last sessions,
Yes.
so they went from second to third level. So just to talk a little bit about, there's not a lot to go over, but I wanted to just peep at that for a second and see what happens when people level up in Open Legends. So what did people do with their characters between second and third level?
I did something very clever. I decided that I was going to become more jack of all trades, and so because previously I've wanted to do things and it's been like, no, you can't do it because you don't have that skill or nothing in it. So I've taken 1 point in nearly every skill to do with magical things. So I'm very bad at everything and good at nothing.
I am so not surprised about this.
Yeah, so that is my decision. Don't worry, Talos. It's just bummed. It's just bummed. It'll come back harder, stronger, fluffier. Soon. maybe I'll let it loose at the end for a big treat for you guys. Who knows? Yeah. Sid, what did you do with your character?
Yeah.
I gave myself good energy points, so to make an energy attack, it's gonna fuck some shit up, basically.
Nice.
Is that like, think about it, like that's what I do, because that's like the only attack that I make, just in creative ways. So that attack is just gonna be like, kush, kush, kush.
Right. And then you're like Eve, right? I like that example. That was good. The Eve from Wally or whatever.
Yeah.
The blast cannon thing. That's good.
Nice.
It was like when you sent me that example yesterday for the next game, and her name was Eve. I thought that was funny.
yeah, it's funny. Also, a reminder to you three, in case you hadn't considered this, if you ever want to up your hit points, you have to take a point in either presence or will or fortitude. So just keep that in mind if you ever want to not get your ass kicked easily.
Yeah.
Not throwing shade, but
You guys are crap.
David, what about you?
So, I mean, my 2 core stats were already at 5, and obviously you can't go above 5 until you hit level 6.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
So actually, I kind of preempted your advice and looked at the stats that built up hit points that were quite low. So, where I had 1s in those, I increased those a little bit to give myself a few more hit points.
Nice.
And I upped my rifle skill to specialization 2, which I believe gives me D20 plus 4d6, keeping the highest 2 now, rather than keeping the highest 1.
Cool. Makes sense. Cool. Okay.
All right.
So we'll pick up where we left off. So again, you guys, where we left off was just sort of like you just barely turned the corner where this gory scene came into view. Not really much time to assess what happened yet. So what do you guys do?
So we've walked in on the Lady Tristel screaming, the dismembered body of Falsadar in one of the upstairs rooms.
Yeah.
Right.
And I believe there was a group of known associates that Lady Tristel had kind of gathered to go with us on the journey as well, and they had followed us along with some of the palace guards, or the guard. So I guess from Lucian's point of view, he'll react quite quickly, and the first thing he'll do is,
Oh God!
he'll turn to the guardsmen and tell them to seal the compound.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, and then he'll turn to
Yes, the compound.
He'll turn to the group of mages, the associates of the lady, and tell them that that we need to know what happened here ASAP. So how soon you use your abilities, your powers? How soon did this happen? How recent has this happened? Is there still any residue? Can we track who did this? Are they still in the ground? And I'll kind of just throw a load of stuff at them and expect them to kind of use their magic.
I'm gonna run straight to the body, and I'm gonna like, I'm gonna like try and like creation him to be like, he's not gone yet.
Okay. Let me hope for my sake that you don't roll a 60 or something. Go ahead.
If I roll ridiculously high and I put his head back on and he comes back to life. Yes.
I love the fact that I have to be worried about anything potentially happening. It's
Yeah. Alright, let me roll creation real quick. So,
No. comes back all right, but not something living.
he is not doing too well.
you
Oh,
like
man.
kick it out the window like a soccer
All right.
ball.
So what happens?
I
is-
throw it onto the burning tree.
So actually, what happens is it's unfortunately worse than that. Because what actually happens is as you go over to the body and you try to revive him and you cast creation, 2 things happen. One, the blood and gore that you see everywhere, it begins to change. And what happens is instead of blood and gore, you see like vines and like and it's like plant matter of different, like a a trunk of a tree that's been split and has just like shards hanging off or whatever, that type of thing. And then Sydney, David's character is Dizzy. Sydney, you're there and you notice that as he's casting this spell trying to revive this thing, would actually to revive Commander Balasar, which is beginning to look like it's not Commander Balasar. And then at the same time, you notice that around Lady Tressen's throat, there is like a vine, and nobody noticed it before now until what Will's character is doing. But the vine itself begins to sort of spring to life, and it begins to sort of wrap itself tighter around as like a sort of a snake-like constriction or something like that. And she was okay. She was not actually hurt. I'm not sure if you guys are clear on that. But she was okay, just shaken up. And she can't speak, and she begins to clutch at her throat. And what you notice, Sydney, is that the vine that's around her throat is connected to the dismembered arm of Commander Balasar.
Shit. And I'm just here like fumbling with the. I'm trying to put it back together.
It's like come on, you can do it. And he's like trying to bring this thing back around.
I'm like, two, give me more.
Every ounce of life energy pumps into it.
We've got this, don't worry.
Lady Crescent slips further away as she's choking. What do you do, Sydney?
I'm gonna go grab Ambrose by the arm and like draw his attention to it because like I don't know anything about nature and I'm assuming that this is his fault because he's casting the spell. But I'm gonna like use my robot arms, so like the really strong one, and like drag him over.
I have a look at these vines. Do they look similar to the ones I've seen before?
They do look similar, and in fact the same as far as you can tell.
Okay. So yeah, I say these are from before the ancient hairdresser society, the order of the Hierophants specs.
I'm gonna just go ahead and start trying to like frantically rip it off of her neck somehow.
Okay, yeah. So roll me. So how you're just gonna you're just gonna pull it off manually. So that would just be a might check.
I'm sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to use a dangerous laser cannon, you could. I mean,
That's a good idea.
more accurate probably.
Use a laser cannon on her face.
I'm just saying. Otherwise, you have to use your might score.
Do it.
Or your agility score.
Do it. Don't worry, I'll help.
Let me get the blowtorch.
Yeah, hang on a second.
You know what? Here's what we'll do. We will not aim for the face. We will aim for like the connection from the arm. Like, so I'm imagining there's some sort of like section of it that's not touching her that I can cut it.
You're gonna ruin her nice carpet though.
Yeah.
It's covered in blood.
Yeah, I don't think it's very nice carpet anymore. The man's head has been ripped off violently.
Keep up, man.
All right, so roll that beautiful energy roll
Okay,
then.
so now, wait. So what am I? Huh?
Oh, you're good. You can use. It sounds like now you're going to use energy because you're not going for the face, right?
Yeah, I know that. But now that I've added this like thing to it when I leveled up, like what do I add to the roll? Do I add anything to
You
it?
have advantage 1 constantly. So anytime you make an energy attack, you have advantage on the attack.
Okay, so
So in other words, instead of 2d6, it's 3d6. So it's still d20 plus 3d6. Keep 2.
K2.
K2, yeah.
That too.
So Brian, just to recap what we're actually seeing here,
Yeah.
his body's kind of like scattered in pieces,
Yep, it is.
and the vines are coming out of one. So Will grabbed the head,
Yeah.
and we saw vines coming out of the head when Will was grabbing it, but also we then saw vines coming out of the arm.
Yeah, and in fact, one thing I just probably went too fast to explain, but actually, the sort of like vine-like change or growth actually happens from all of the body parts, and they all seem to be sort of trying to grow toward each other. So yeah, so that applies also to the head and other parts of the body.
Right.
40. All right, 36. 40, and then yeah, 36. Nice. Okay. So you managed to use
Blow off her face.
that easily sever the vine.
Thank you so much to Insomniac Zinc, donate £1, and he
What?
says
What is it?
disadvantage to Sydney. That's
Oh, disadvantage.
How did I know?
correct.
Oh no! Like that's like, how does that work? Because they're like 30 seconds behind us, right? So
So I guess we'll do it for the next roll. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
If that person really wanted to mess her up, that would be painful.
Yeah, that's Rem.
Oh, man.
By the way, Sid, you got a question directed at you in chat? Just
Oh, sorry.
nah, you wanna read that one?
Alright.
Oh my god.
So you sever the tendrils of the vine that are connecting to what's wrapped around her neck. That's fine. So meanwhile, David's character is trying to order the other people around. You know, give the
Yeah.
other people.
If my face stuff isn't working, I'm gonna try and like mess. Is she like completely free of the vines at this point?
She after she's
Yeah.
been clawing at it, and now that the life force is cut off, the vines are no longer like fighting back, and she's able to
Okay.
like,
I
pull them off of her neck.
Yeah, I'm gonna like grab her. Come with me, my lady. As I
Nice.
got a bit too Winston Churchill. Okay, never mind. I
Yes.
I run out of her.
Is
Like,
there,
get her to
is
safety.
there a fireplace in the room?
What is what?
Is there a fireplace in the room?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, why not? You guys we'll say you're directly above the other room with the fireplace below. And so this room also has a fireplace.
Burn the body.
Yeah. So what I'll shout to the others is get the bits to the fireplace and set it on fire.
Okay. All right, they help. That's fine. They get out of the body, and it's very strange how like these body parts go from bloody to like plant-like. You guys have never seen anything like that ever, in fact.
So yeah, I'm like bringing her out, and I like kind of turn to her as we're running out and say, "What happened?"
Well, I was standing there, and Valasar was
Well, well, I was standing there, and then
well, we were standing there. Valasar was telling me something about how he was unable to rally some of the troops that he had planned in order to accompany us on the expedition. And I looked away, and then all of a sudden I felt this something tight and choking around my neck. I turned to see that this vine was strangely, his hand was missing, and instead in its place was a vine that wrapped around my throat. And then I, called upon my magical ability to, and then he just got blasted all over the room, as you saw.
so you kill him.
Yeah, absolutely. He was trying to kill me.
Oh. I'm like, oh, she badass. Yeah. I
I'm gonna
suppose.
like nudge Lucian and be like, "See, we knew he was shady. We called it. We called it."
Do you have any evidence? I suppose these things normally have some form of formal trial after you blow a man's face off.
Well, I don't. I very much doubt that self-defense in my own residence is going to require.
Yeah, I think we all saw the vines around the neck. So I guess the question is though,
I'm suspicious of him.
has he always been like this?
Has what?
Has he
Has he always been like this? Like blown up on the floor? He's always like this, as old Commander Balasar. Most weekends you'll see him mashed on the floor.
It's a party trick.
Yeah.
It's a part of.
Watch me piece myself back together.
So did he come back through the portal? What was one of the reasons why he went native? And
Well,
did he come
Yeah.
back?
Well,
Was being infected by this sort of thing, or is it some sort of doppelganger?
Well, did he ever leave your side? You all know more about this than I do. I mean, did he come? He came with you through the portal, right? Was there a point at which he left? Was no longer with you?
Well, several times. I mean, during the camp, he spoke to some people in the camp on his own. He said he had some personal matters to deal with, and obviously since then, he went into the city to try and rally up some of his former comrades. So it's possible that he's been swapped out, or it's possible. The issue, I guess, would be myself and Leah spotted that he was nervous when we talked about using some form of mind magic to confirm the true motives of the individuals before we boarded in their ship and took yourself through.
Right.
So, given he was nervous about that, has he always been, an agent of whatever faction this is?
First off, David, your volume's jumping. I'm not sure why it's going up and down.
Secondly, I need to welcome Hops to the adventure. Thank you for following, my friend. You are a gentle hopper. And a scholar. Also, I need to thank Rise of Die, who donates £3, hoping Will gets a puppy. Me too, Rise of Die. Me too. We're all waiting for that, really.
Yeah, I mean, Will, your character seems like the type of.
I might actually get a puppy, yeah. If there are any dogs around, don't worry, Rise of Die, I am taking them home.
Okay, well, you might not want the nearly dead animals that are on this side of the portal, so maybe we'll revisit that in a bit when you get to the other side. Yeah, sounds good. So, so to answer your question, though, David, and this is Magdalena Tresson speaking. She says, well, to be honest with you, my best guess is that whatever this is came with all of you through the portal, because the way that vegetative matter changed between flesh and vines, to me that seems like something that would be on this other world. No, I've not been there, but that's my opinion.
So that would suggest that he's possibly always been working for this faction then.
I don't know. I mean, as I said before, that depends on who you met. Did you meet the real him? And of course, until I meet him, if there is another copy of him, then I won't be able to say, but he's been missing, right? I've heard that there are reports that he went missing some time ago on Amaurea. He was absent without leave, correct?
Highly suspicious. By the way, Ambrose is now smoking his pipe after all the exertion. In a lovely house, and he's smoking it away. Also, Rise of Dice said Sydney gets the crit for the donation. So.
Okay.
Oh jeez.
Oh
Wow,
boy.
that's epic.
Suck it, Rim.
Disadvantage and a crit. Wow.
That we can actually do that, because disadvantage is the attribute dice, and then crit would be the d20. So that is really intense to start with a 20 on the d20. So okay.
So I say, well, is there aught we can do about this now that he's dead? It seems like the problem itself might be solved. No, unless he had friends.
Yeah. Yes, but I wonder, and we'll, for the sake of story, we'll just say that not all of the body parts have been put in the fire. They're still gathering them up, and she says, I wondered when you said about destroying the body if we shouldn't perhaps save so that we can analyze what type of matter this is, or we can identify it or something like that.
I stroking my brow. I was gonna say I furrow my brow.
I stroking.
I stroke my brow. I say, well, is there anything we can do for you in the meantime, my lady?
Not right now, to be honest with you. I think that really I need to catch my breath. But other than that, seems that the problem's taken care of for now. We do need to make sure if we, see if we can't talk to whoever else knows Commander Valsar in Amaurea that you all spoke to, and see if they've seen him lately since he's been with you all.
I nod and say, so you wish us to return to the natural world?
Yes, I see no reason to deviate from the plan. We had planned to I had planned to accompany all of you, and I still plan the same. We'll have to keep a close eye on, and indeed, I believe that Lucian's idea was a good suggestion. We should have everyone who is going to be part of our company inspected by, mind magic to ensure that they are their true selves.
Agreed. Let's have some mind magic. Well,
is there anything else anyone needs to do to prepare before we head back towards the portal?
The three mages sort of just sort of in unison, all just sort of shake their heads no, that there's nothing that they have to prepare. We didn't talk about them, so I'll give a description now since they're being mentioned. There are three. One is named Zerafin. He is an aging black man with a long white beard. He is, all of these characters are people that none of you have heard of before. They have an air of mystery about them. They've not really been seen in public places within the city of Schlechtenberg proper. This guy also has strange sigils that decorate his robe and the same sort of pattern it also makes up a triangular shaped tattoo, except, being that his face is black, the tattoo itself is white and forms a triangle around his eye, which is white, and it seems to be non-functioning. Another is named Ashkar Mahmoud. He wears a multicolored turban on his head, carries a scimitar, and dresses in leather armor. He's got a very nice waxed mustache with the ends curled up. He smells of gasoline and petrol, and has a number of glass vials that are lined up in that like sort of holster that cascades down the side of his leg there. And the third archmage is Enithil Dunavin. She's a very young-looking mage with blonde, nearly white hair. She has a series of interlocking ear piercings and a gold chain that runs through them. I still might be able to beat you, Sydney. And the gold chain connects through these piercings in her ear, and then goes to her nose and mouth, where her lower lip and nose have the same chain connecting.
You should do that.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, that would be.
Her right hand appears to be white, as if the pigment, and you can see like where the pigment that's normal to her arm is missing, and it appears like the flesh is without. It's just snow white, and that's those three. So, but they all sort of know that they're not sort of waiting on anything, and Enithul, I should say, speaks up and says, "I will take care of ensuring that everyone is their proper selves. So I will speak to everyone in our party privately before we depart. But other than that particular item, I have nothing that I need before we depart."
Very well. Well, when do we leave?
Well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours, I suppose, to inspect each person in our group. There's only the three of us, plus the three of you, plus Lady Tresson, and I believe that's it, right? So
we'll need to check out the airship crew as well.
Yes, indeed. Well, the airship crew will be, and Lady Tresson sort of cuts in and says, "Well, I agree with that. But we'll need to do that on the other side of the portal, as the crew is over there." At that moment, a knock comes at the door as one of the guards, one of the house guard, guy dressed in heavy full plate, sort of comes in the door and, "Excuse me, Lady Tresson, I have a message for you." And he holds out a scroll. It has a very nice looking seal on it, and she sort of goes over, sort of pops it open and says, "Well, it looks like we may be slightly delayed in our intention of leaving immediately. I had hoped that we might leave today. We may still do so. However, I have some business that I have to attend. An emergency council meeting has been called. This is not the sort of thing which I normally," and she sort of like pauses for a moment and seems to think to herself. She says, "If it weren't for the fact that my enemies seem to be multiplying recently, I would never consider this. However, I wonder if all of you might attend this meeting with me just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. I appreciate your loyalty and helping to protect me in this matter."
And I appreciate the loyalty of Manalish66. Welcome, my friend, to the adventure. He's a gentleman and a scholar. And also, thanks so much to Rise of Die. He donates £10, split for Will and Sydney. Birthday table. Oh, thanks so much, Rise of Die. That's pretty generous. The birthday table is it's a D69.
69.
And you want to roll 69. That's the best one, actually. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming high.
So
I rolled 51. Would you like me to look these up for you, Brian?
Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully, I don't have to. Hopefully, we don't run into anything impossible. But
Sure. Yeah. So they're pretty good fun. So I gained Cecil's ring, a bright red ring in the shape of a cockerel. When worn, +2 wisdom, and the holder is now a were-cockerel, which is entirely possible with my druid brand. Right? I could potentially turn into a were-cockerel.
All right, well that's fine. You already have that ability, and then I guess you'll get advantage on logic and learning. Why not?
Nice.
Rolls.
Nice.
So, logic and learning rolls advantage. Sydney, what do you got?
32.
The sentient oven glove of glory, which is actually around here somewhere. A single thick mitten style glove which has eyes and teeth sewn onto them. When worn, it binds to its wearer and refuses to let go. It speaks and gives its opinion often in Fletcher's voice. He speaks like this. And when worn, it makes the wearer's hand immune to any damage, and it gives you +1 armor, which is sweet. So basically, you get +1 armor.
Can I put that on like my robot hand, or will that like?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
But like, can I shoot?
Your robot hand would be like immune to damage, I guess, right? I don't know. That would be pretty good, I guess. Sure. I mean, whatever. I guess we'll say that since you're the wielder of it, you can command the glove to unstitch itself and allow the beam of energy to
Maybe it has a mouth hole.
from your hand through the indestructible.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Thanks, Rosa. That's very generous of you.
Thanks.
So that's fine. You can give yourself +1 to, evasion and toughness. That's fine.
It's gonna look like it's like vomiting fire. Can't wait.
Well, it's on you guys to keep those records, so good luck with that. All right, so that's cool. Yeah, so Lady Tresson, before she leaves, she's like, and before we go to this meeting, it reminds me, you should all choose something from my treasury. As she pulls out and opens up a large wooden case in which lays a oven mitt and a ring. A red ring.
I feel like it has a lot of stuff in it, but like we just like
Yeah.
go for that, and I'm
We
like,
know
oh,
what we're doing.
Absolutely.
We know what we're doing. So yeah, I grabbed the ring.
I think the oven mitt probably looks like Domo, right? Domo-kun, I think. Anyway, sorry, never mind. And she looks at David's character and says, I think I have another plan for how I might repay you, my friend. As she sort of winks at you in a non-sexual but
There is no non-sexual wink. I have yet to see a wink which is non-sexual. And I demand that you show it to me now. Please, Devin. Oh God, no.
See, you've now seen a non-sexual wink, haven't you?
I don't think I have. I'm scared.
It's kind of a pirate wink, right?
That's one way of putting it.
Oh man! All right. That's terrible. So anyway, back to it. So what do you all say?
I think we're happy to go with her to ensure protection at the
Yeah. Of course, my lady. Anything we can do to help.
Excellent.
I'm gonna start like having constant conversation with my oven mitt thing.
Yeah. Well, you and Will needs to. Will, you know the voice.
Yes, you do. Hello, I am your oven mitts of glory. Hi.
Oh man.
I'm so happy.
All right. So you guys are talking away as you head to the emergency council meeting,
Yes.
winding through the never-ending alleyways of the great city of Schlechtenberg, nearly vomiting all the way. You You're tempted to put your hand in the mitt, except you're afraid that the mitt might bite your face off.
Yeah, come on, give us a kiss.
Oh man! And eventually,
Go on.
you guys come to a sort of not inconspicuous looking area. You figure that you're headed to somewhere rather grand, but it ends up being a sort of back alley entrance. As keep in mind that the identity and even the location of meetings of the Council of Three is in fact secret, and Magdalena Tresson is the only known, publicly known member, and for special reason of the council. So anyway, you all go in
Too edgy
through
for
this
us.
back alley. There's like just a few lamps and the street light, you know, on the side street here, and a lot of shadows. You all head in through the door and go down a winding set of stairs, quite a number of floors until you're, you know, really underground or something like that. Entering through the door, there's a knock, and then once the knock happens, a series of magical sigils appears on the door itself, and Lady Tresson begins to, she sort of like puts her fingers in them and turns them at like different angles, and it's almost like a magical safe. Or
Does she do a wink when she does that?
Seal the deal.
just for you, Will. Just only your character.
Wow.
You are the most mature gentleman.
I am.
So you know you have that going for you. She is. I mean, she has a a boy who's 12 years old, and you know you don't even know about other children or what the situation is there.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
In any case, the door opens. You guys all walk in, and inside, you see her sort of. You know, she goes up to two other figures who are there, and they are hooded in deep cloaks where you cannot see their faces. You can see like a faint sort of blue, and in one case green light sort of coming out from under the hood, but your line of sight is obstructed with the head sort of tilted forward so that you can't see. She says, she comes back to you after speaking with them sort of in a whisper, and she says, they do ask that you all abstain from commenting on official business while we are, the meeting is in session.
I will simply harumph.
I'm gonna look at my oven mitt and be like, don't say.
Well, I try not to say welcome to DSO.
Welcome, DSO, to the adventure. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
Oh, no, sorry. My bad.
I'm gonna boot that on the nose.
Oh, yes, okay. Ooh.
Boot.
Alright. So you guys get in there, and you come in, and David, your character is the only one who recognizes this because Sydney's character doesn't really have much memory, and Will's character's never been to this world. But you recognize sitting. So there's one table at the head, and then there are two side tables at which other people might sit. And you guys are motioned to sit at the left side. Meanwhile, on the right side, there are three other people, and they're not people who you've necessarily worked with personally, but you know them kind of by description and reputation. And they have on their shirt, they have an embroidered sort of like coat of arms. And the coat of arms is the symbol of Blofeld Arms and Armaments, which is a weapons manufacturer within the city. And they are, of course, one of the primary suppliers of weapons and ammunition to the military effort on Amaurea.
Would it be unusual for them to be represented here at a council meeting?
Yeah, it would be.
Does that maybe suggest that one of their leaders or whatever could well be one of the councilmen?
Seems possible. It's hard to say. Obviously, these two side tables are here for a reason, and while it's not known that anybody ever attends these meetings outside of the council themselves, clearly this would be an indicator of the contrary. Whether they're here on special privilege, as you describe, or not, is you can sort of roll a perception, I guess, to see if you can judge their body language about sort of like whether they feel like this is their, they're accustomed to being in this meeting or not, or something like that.
I just head on over and sit down in my place. I start smoking my pipe.
They give a similar air that you all do in being not regulars, and they seem to be guests, special guests in the same way that you all are, and not regular attendees of this meeting. So with that, they sort of, Lady Tressens takes her seat at the middle of the table with the two flanking her. Lights and that sort of thing are directed in such a way that they come from behind the council members so that their faces cannot be seen clearly. And you maintain the inability to really make out the faces of these people.
I can make out that the frog 123, he donates £5. He says wild magic for Will. I light my pipe and then suddenly it blows up.
Oh no.
This is definitely the worst time for this.
Yeah. I'll get rolling. Okay, I'll look it up for you whilst you can go ahead and describe, and I'll look this up.
Well, I'm waiting now.
All right, okay.
I want to hear how bad this is going to be.
5714. 5714. Of course, exclamation point D10K in chat. Target is invisible from the back, but visible from the front.
That is amazing because there's nobody behind you.
That's great.
And everybody's in front of you.
I turn my back to them.
You just turn your seat around.
Yeah. Perfect.
You're like two-dimensional. You turn to the side and you become invisible.
Yeah. Oh man. That's so sweet. I can just keep on like, you can't see me. You can't see me.
Perfect. All right, so she calls the meeting, she calls the meeting to session, and she sort of addresses everyone, says, as you all know, Blofeld Armaments here, as well as a number of the other ranking military here in Schlechtenberg, who have not previously been active on Amaurea, have called for an emergency vote insofar as it seems that both the commanding officer, General Paxson, as well as his second in command, Commander Valisar, have been reported as absent without leave on Amaurea. Both are suspected dead. And as such, it has been expressed that it is an emergency that we now replace and vote in a replacement for commanding officer on Amaurea. So with that, we have come and we would like to hear each person's candidate, anyone who they would like to put forward as a potential replacement, at least temporarily, until one of the commanding officers is located. And with that, she sort of motions to one of the folks from the other side of the table who have these Blofeld arms and armaments regalia. He stands up and he says, "I would like to nominate Lord Thomas Curry. He is a well-known leader For many years, he was a key figure in the previous colonization efforts. And for those who are joining the game, this is out of character text. Amaurea spent many years waging war on all of its neighbors, and eventually they were shut down by the fact that they all banded against the Amaurean military and prevented them from sort of expanding as they had been doing. And then as a result, they were forced to use magic and open a portal and now attempt to rape and pillage another world altogether. So anyway.
Moving on from the rape and the pillaging.
The heroic figure Lucian was part of these previous raping and pillaging things. But anyway, here, the other members from that side of the table sort of chime in, and the council of three, they just sort of silently bow their heads, and another member from that side of the table also speaks up, and he says, Lady Crucifer is also someone who I would like to consider, as she also has a great number of military connections. She's been a loyal supporter for quite some time, and has put her and her family have both put themselves at great risk in the military campaigns of the past. And I think that she would make a great candidate. And David, your character knows these figures. They are, to you, nothing special, not someone that you would think of as a leader. And it's unusual that these names should come up, because really they just seem like regular folks that are, they have military experience, but they're not like a sort of like an inspiring leader or anything like that.
Yeah, it's politics though, isn't it? So clearly these are the military leaders most controllable by the candidates which are nominating them.
Yeah, seems likely.
Hashtag
So,
relatable.
I think for the time being, we'll wait and see what Lady Tressendal says, what she decides to do.
She just sort of nods silently and just sort of goes along with it. And then eventually, after some sort of banter about all of this for a bit back and forth, eventually she sort of chimes in and says, well, thank you. And she sort of bows her head to the representatives from Blofeld Arms and Armaments, and says, thank you for your suggestion, Lords. I appreciate your insight and wisdom on this matter. I appreciate that all of you may have come here with an idea that one of these candidates would be the nominee, or would be, the next commander. However, seeing as I have not personally had much interaction with these nominees, I would like to propose a nominee of my own for the position. I understand that my military experience may be limited, but I am, of course, partially in command of the military. And I have found one Lucian Kane to be particularly trustworthy, as he has, for me, accomplished that which all of the rest of the military force on Amaurea combined have been unable to accomplish, which is, of course, finding my son is, in and of itself, is not cause for promoting him. However, it demonstrates a kind of resourcefulness which I feel is lacking in the military leadership on Amaurea. Keep in mind, this is a jungle campaign, and he is an expert in tracking, in guerrilla tactics, understanding how these native enemies may go about things. And so, as such, I think he would be the perfect candidate. And she sort of, as she's saying this, you see the other guys from across the aisle there. So you see a look of panic across their face as they sort of look sort of back and forth at each other, and they're sort of whispering. You can't really make out what they're
So
saying.
I'll kind of take advantage a little bit of their panic, and I'll kind of sort of stand up and sort of say, thank you for this this honor that you do me by suggesting that I would be capable of this. And firstly, before to allay fears, if this was to come to pass, it would certainly be a temporary appointment until I could prove myself to yourselves that I was capable of doing this in the longer term. But I think we have several immediate crises. Having only just returned from Amaurea myself, I can tell you that we have a significant problem with people being murdered in the camp by some sort of strange creature that we've already conducted several investigations for. We have an issue with the divine herespects operating inside the jungles, attacking our patrols, killing our people. We have problems with the elven relations. Luckily, we've already made contact with 2 different parties of the elves, probably more than any of the other commanders have done in the past. So while I do believe this is quite a surprise, I do believe I would be capable of restoring order to the situation on the other side of the portal for the time being, and then I would leave it to you to judge whether I was suitable to remain in place or not.
And she says, and that kind of attitude is exactly why I feel like he would make a perfect appointment for the position. Because, to be honest with you, while General Paxson is effective in his techniques, I believe a certain willingness to work with and admit one's own mistakes, even in the humility that is required in order to say, here, I will attempt this, and then you can remove me if you need to. That's exactly the kind of attitude that I feel is necessary. And she sort of like looks at the other council members, and you see there's a sort of slow thinking sort of reluctance, but you just see these cloaked heads sort of nod in agreement as she sort of looks at them. And at the same time that they nod, you see the panic of the folks on the other side of the aisle sort of escalate as they sort of, but no, this fellow is he's a complete unknown. We can't have someone that that's only been on Amaurea for a short. And so they just begin to sort of sputter out as they actually put their foot in their mouth, actually saying things that are contradictory to their own agenda. And
such as Gigi Tonho. Thank you, Gigi Tonho, following. Welcome to Adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Also, Rise of Die donates another £5 and says hallucination table fun. I rolled a 26. 26 is your character has gained a flight speed of 30. Get to the rooftop to take off. I am hallucinating at this point due to my pipe, I'd imagine, and what's in it.
Yeah.
That I can now fly, and so I kind of just start like lifting my wings up, and I'm going through this like trance, as if I'm like flying through the air right now. I just stand up.
Like spinning around the room, but
Yeah.
then you're like invisible from the back.
From the back, yeah, I spin round, and from the back they can't see me, and from the front they can.
I was picturing this subtle thing where like your chair just lifts up, sort of like nobody can see, and like you're just sort of like, anyway. Although wait, you're hallucinating, right?
I'm hallucinating.
So,
it's all in my head.
Oh man. All right, so back to it. Magdalena Tresson, she sort of speaks up. I think, with all due respect, my friends, I believe that we have enough information to make the decision. I think we've heard everyone has had their chance to defend their own candidate, and I believe it is now time for us to deliberate on this privately. Excuse me, deliberate on this privately. As she sort of motions for all of you to sort of head back out the door. And Will's character just sort of floats south the way.
Off I go.
Oh, no.
Do I know Will's character is invisible from behind?
I don't know. I mean,
if you look at me from behind, you can't see me.
You could just wall hug and listen in, and they wouldn't know you were there.
I'm high as fuck right now. So.
Squirrel just stuck to the wall, you know?
Yeah. Just floating around.
If you weren't hallucinating that he was flying, which would then mess up his invisibility as he sort of moves around about the room, then he
So we head out.
All right, so you guys head out. You wait outside for a bit, and you're called back in after about 5 minutes.
Oh. Start floating back into the room.
Okay.
I'm gonna. So, are we still like outside, like
Flutter.
right now? Like, I'm gonna go over to Lucian and be like, "This is kind of odd that all of this is taking precedence over her son's life." Don't you think?
I think it's partly that she's concerned that any other faction might derail the chance of saving her son's life. So clearly the other factions have an agenda, and that agenda, given one of them's a weapons, one that's supposed to be sponsored by a weapons manufacturer, would certainly be against the elves.
I'm highly suspicious.
Interesting enough, it would be interesting to know whether this Bloomfield is somehow related to the work that was being carried out in your cell earlier.
We must find the broom's shed.
I'm just saying that if it were me, and someone just tried to kill me, and my son was in danger, nothing would matter more than that, and I would want to get out. I'm a little wary. I recommend you be the same.
I float back in.
You're having like.
But he's actually just taking like big steps.
Big
so,
steps,
like,
yeah.
You've seen like Fantasia hallucinations with brooms that are splitting, and then they're sort of like flying about the room, right?
Yeah.
This is like the worst trip that you've had in a long time. So anyway, you get back in, and she says, so I would like to announce that by unanimous decision, the council has decided to nominate Lucian Kane as acting general of the Schlechtenberg force, military forces in Amaurea.
Yes, we have.
His office will take effect immediately, and as such, we will, hurry back to Schlechtenberg as quickly as possible so that command can be resumed there.
Yes, we will.
So I'll just kind of thank the council for their decision and promise not to write them down.
They just sort of nod. You see their, cloaked hoods sort of nod in your direction as you see the faces, the red, angry faces of these other folks on the other side of the table, and they sort of storm out and slam the door behind them in a sort of very fast way. If you move quickly, I guess you could catch them, but they're sort of they don't even make eye contact with you as they sort of almost sort of half run out the door.
Just let them go.
Okay.
There's something else to kill.
Oh, lad, let him be. I
All
fly.
right.
I continue to fly. I circle over the room at this point to get an eagle's view of what they're doing.
you see the same. They
Well,
angrily storm out of the room.
I flutter back down. We're going to follow them. I can watch from above.
Nice.
What?
Like the hawk, I would
You
be.
got to see Will's character talking about he's going to follow them from above. And while he's doing that, literally, his hands are just going like this,
Yeah.
talking about how he's flying over them.
Like the hawk, I will be.
How do you?
I must away, and I flutter off.
But you're just walking.
I pay no heed. I just carry on fluttering.
I put my hand on his shoulder and be like, I don't think you know what is happening. This is not a good idea.
I turn into a werecockerel.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh,
I
my-
turn into a giant cockerel of doom, and I start
So-
to like fly away.
But maybe then you can fly.
Chickens can fly.
Are you still like invisible from the back?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe
So-
you can like fly like on your back, then they can't see you.
I mean, either way, I just start to like fly off.
So, Ryan, in the steampunk side of this world, is there like the equivalent of telegram or telephone?
It's a good question. I haven't made that decision, so we'll naturally leave it to a die roll. Do you want high or low?
Hi.
Always get high.
Let's see.
I would try and build a nest.
Okay.
It's
There
important
you
to me.
go. So yes.
Nice.
Liz.
Mhm.
So grab one of the soldiers, who I assume has been informed now of the fact that I'm kind of in command, and tell them to send a message to the gate, and I don't want any transport through the gate, messages or otherwise, until I get there.
Excellent. Very good. I will give you inspiration for that decision, David. You can get advantage on a future roll. Very well, sir. As he sort of he just salutes and goes off to attend to that matter. And I will send out a telegram at once to both the acting captain at the garrison at the Eternity's Gate garrison, as well as other local barracks.
I'm gonna follow the guys that stormed out
Yeah. Okay.
in my chicken form,
Okay. Yes.
and I'm gonna stay at a reasonable distance and watch.
Okay. So roll me a perception check.
Sure, I will. Perception. I think no, I didn't take anything else in this. Okay. So my perception roll is 41. I see everything in cock form.
Oh man, they never suspected that random, completely out of place chicken that's wandering the streets.
The cock has eyes.
I have the hawk. I have the chicken.
Yeah, it's the eye of the chicken.
You really went for it.
It's really feeling that one.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Need to break out. Yeah. It's good.
So what you hear as you stalk in chicken form, you stalk with these shady characters. You hear a number of things. One thing that you hear is they're complaining about something to the effect of, first Prometheus and now this, something like that. And this is like, I'm gonna give you a series of like separate snippets that you catch.
Sure.
Another thing.
So, Will, you probably remember that Prometheus was the name of the program that Sydney was involved, that Leo's character was involved in.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shit film, really.
And the other thing that you hear is something about you hear something about the order. You're not sure what order that refers to, but you are sort of like a little suspicious because you know of the order of the divine hair specs or whatever, and something about getting in touch with somebody, a representative there or something like that. And the other thing you hear is just general. Most of it is just generally complaining and bellyaching about their profits tanking.
Okay.
As a result of increased or sort of improved relations between the natives and the military force or something like that.
Okay.
Those are the three snippets that you get within
Alright,
41.
I flutter back to the PCs, to you guys. I flutter back and say, and I turn back into human form, and I say, they said something about Prometheus. They said first Prometheus and now this. Then they said that their profits are tanking. And the third one I've forgotten. I just light up my pipe. So. That is what I learned.
What do you think they mean, first Prometheus? So they know what happened.
I don't
I
know
think they're
what a
assuming that
Prometheus
Prometheus is
is.
a program that was sponsored by them, which has somehow failed, which obviously failed and encountered difficulties, and the fact that the engineer who was working on Prometheus has vanished.
So Prometheus is, I'll just help out here. It's no fun to have wires crossed. Prometheus was the name of Leah's engineer,
The engineer rather than the program.
other person who worked on the project. You don't actually have not heard the name of any kind of code name for the project itself or anything like that.
So I guess it would make sense that when we get a moment to try and see if we can locate Prometheus, because he probably does know more about the connection between these guys and the whatever happened to yourself.
Sure. Through the through your newfound authority and the sudden invention of the telegraph, you're able to quickly sort of get information that you normally would have had trouble getting, which is that Prometheus confirms the previous information that you had. So the military connections that you have the same information, intel that you do, that you heard previously, which is that Prometheus was reported missing on Amaurea, and that he was part of a military detachment that was sent out to establish a new outpost beyond Moonju Watch, and there were about 200 of them, and they were all slaughtered, and it was the largest military loss that has been suffered to date on Amaurea. He was in that platoon and is presumed dead, but actually I'll tell you this. The thing that you're able to gather that you did not know before because of your newfound connections is that you've heard that due to this accident, you learn that due to this accident that happened, and it presumably is the same thing that hurt Leah's character, Sydney's character Leah, Prometheus had lost the use of his legs and had created some sort of apparatus that allows him to walk mechanically. And the thought is, when you're conferring with some of your military contacts, the thought is that if he were truly dead in that attack, that the mechanical, metal portion of his body would not have been mistakable amongst all of the corpses. And so it seems unlikely, they say, that he was killed in that attack.
Most of this goes over Ambrose's head because he has no idea what the project is, so...
Everything I need to do is on the other side now, so...
Yeah.
We want to get back. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna head back as quickly as possible. That's the plan.
All right. So so with that, you guys have only to be examined by Inathul, who is the elven mage, the young female elven mage, and she sort of goes over everybody. And let's see what we roll here. Plus,
Oh dear. This makes me nervous.
okay. Whoops. Missed it.
Let me look into your mind. I'll remind you guys, this thing has just gone just over the hour, that if you're new, do hit that follow button and join us. We're here 5 nights a week, 9 shows a week. Also, another quick reminder, no Dungeon Masters Workshop after this show, and no Monday Numenera just because of flying to America and stuff like that, so I'm going to be busy for the next few days. Yeah, that is a quick little rundown for you guys who didn't pick up on it earlier.
Cool. So you guys, so she is able to examine everyone and indicates that to the best of her knowledge, there are no other similar problems among those who are going to be headed to Amaurea. So with that, you have the best idea that you can, or the best safeguard that you are currently aware of, and you're free to depart at any time if you guys are ready.
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to, when I go through the weave, I want to use my crit from Rise of Die
Okay.
to search for the presence of the girl who has no name.
Okay. Very good. As soon as you get on the other side of the, on this side or on the Amaurea side.
I don't know. I guess like as we're just going through the weave, I guess I search. Once we're like kind of connected to it, yeah.
Okay, all right. Trying to get a feel in the middle. Okay. Well, you'll need that crit because of how difficult that is to do. So you can start with that 20 and roll the rest of your. That's going to be divination.
Okay, divination. So how would I do this? Just look at my. Shit, I think I have 1 in divination now because I put a point into it. Yeah. But I have 1 point into it. So I'm gonna roll 20 plus this.
Yeah, 20 plus this. Yeah.
Okay,
Can
so
I give Will my inspiration?
What's that, David?
Can I give Will my inspiration?
Sure, why not? Let's talk.
what
You
does
can
that-
you can add an advantage to the D4 roll then, Will.
Okay, so keep eyes 1. Sweet. Let's go. So plus 8, I guess, right?
You're missing 1 D4, so you can roll another.
Oh, sweet.
You can roll 2 D4. You roll 1 D4.
Roll 1d4. 1. Nailed it.
8.
Plus-
So 28.
28.
Well, 28 is still pretty good.
That's not bad.
So with a 28, as you're going through, it is incredibly difficult to focus because you're literally you almost sort of like you have that feeling like you're about to like shake and like have like a nervous breakdown or something because it's like so overloading to your senses to attempt to reach out and sense things in the supernatural realm when you're literally in the middle
And
of
I'm
a
as high as
conduit.
I am right now, then.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
high, and then
Ambrose
you're in
is
the
just
middle
like
of a conduit between 2 worlds,
Yeah.
and then do both worlds touch the space that you are? Like maybe, yeah. And
Maybe a
so
little bit
basically,
touchy. A little bit less. A little bit of that.
oh man, that's terrible. But what you do manage to ascertain as you're sort of trying your best to like reach out and divine, you sense the girl with no name, and you sense her only on one side of the portal, the side being the Amaurean side, and the energy, the sort of the weave-like energy. You actually don't have any idea what this means. It's actually very confusing because you were not able to sense the weave when you were in Amaurea. Or sorry, when you were in Schlechtenberg. You were not able to sense the weave while you were there. And, so it kind of hurt your powers to some extent, that sort of thing. But what's really unusual is that 2 things. 1, the girl with no name, you can sense her presence, but only on the Amaurea side. And then 2, it's almost like there are like strands or like threads that run like sort of in this interdimensional space or rift that connects the 2 worlds. And you almost feel like the sort of web-like structure of the weave that sort of just spirals out and connects things. It almost seems as though it's reaching through the portal. And that is not something that you thought was even close to being possible.
Possible, yeah. Okay. I come out looking kind of worried and concerned, I guess.
Yeah.
Rather than I don't actually like bring that up to anyone because I don't think they'll understand.
So just to step back a second before
Yeah.
we go through. So one of the things I want to do on the Slashmo side is I want to borrow Lady Tressendale's mind reader for a second.
Yeah.
And I want to have a chat with the garrison commander on this side of the portal.
Yep.
And I want to kind of tell him that I'm looking for someone I can trust, someone that can be promoted and kind of butter him up a little bit. But that, and also that I need to know that he can be trusted. Hence why I've invited this magic user to come along and just make sure that you don't have any ulterior motives. I'm sure you understand, but as long as you're loyal to the military, that's fine. Just ask him a series of questions and make sure that I'm happy that he's loyal, and then tell him that I don't want any people to go through the portal for the next 7 days. Supplies can go through, provided they're searched at this side and the other side, and that I hold him responsible for ensuring that no messages or no non-military related messages get through. So obviously messages related around military positioning, strengths, camps, requests of supplies, etc. are all fine. But what I'm concerned about is any factions who may be passing messages to each other that might be derailing the military situation. Obviously we've had several situations where key military people have went missing, or attacks have been made against our military patrols, and just kind of indicate to him that I feel that there may well be other factions involved here, and that by restricting travel through the portal for the next week, it will give us a chance to stabilize the situation on the other side.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Sounds like a good plan. You're able to pull that off. He does check out magically after being inspected, and everything seems to be in order to the best of your ability to set it up. As he agrees, he seems like he likes the idea of being promoted, and he sees himself as being worthy of it, and figures this is a great way to prove himself. And he thanks you multiple times, and thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. Thank you for putting your trust in me. I will ensure that these orders are carried out, without exception.
And then I'll head through, and then I'm going to do something similar on the other side with the person who's in charge of the gate on the other side, to ensure that there's no issue with people leaving through the gate to go back, but any people coming through have to be pre-authorized by myself. And obviously, because I'm going to be away from the camp for the next week or so, it's better just to impose a lockdown while we get the situation under control. I'm just going to kind of throw stuff at you quickly, because I'm conscious, obviously, you probably want to get us on the plot side rather than the kind of setting up the campsite. So the sort of stuff I'm going to do is the previous standing commander, I believe you said was kind of like loyal to the previous commander, quite stuffy, wasn't really doing anything, wasn't being proactive. I'm sending him back through the portal, and I'll pick someone who I have worked with in the past in the camp, who is well respected by the men, to run the camp while I'm away.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Well, let's handle that in a moment, because what we're going to do is we're going to deal with something else in the meantime.
I'm going to go up to Lucian and talk to him for a second. Can I do that?
Okay.
Is that...
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. So which side are we on here? We're on this is before you leave, we'll say. That's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to go up to him and just kind of get kind of close and be like, I'm scared. After everything that's happened that I don't even really remember, and now with the position that you're in, I'm scared.
Very, very.
So the position I'm in obviously is highly likely to be a temporary position, even if this proves to be, even if we manage to save our son and meet all of the other goals of this. I think it's likely that the political pressure to put someone more senior in place will mean that while we may have more senior roles ourselves, likely we'll retain these roles. I think it's key that as part of this, and my commitment to you is that we try and find out what has happened with Prometheus and yourself in the past. So regardless of whether we manage to do that before we save our son or after we save our son, I think it's critical for yourself. We're still going to be together as a group, so nothing changes. I'm not going to stay behind at the camp and send you guys ahead. If anything, we have a better force with us now that we have Lady Tressendale, who's also very powerful herself, along with her trusted compatriots with us. So I think I understand why you're scared, but I think we're probably in a stronger position than we were before.
Like, she's just gonna like almost cut him off and just like hug him like really hard and be like, just be okay, okay?
That's great. Love it. Alrighty.
Yes, don't worry, I'll be fine.
That's great. Okay. So you guys make it through the portal, and what happens when you get to the other side is you are initially, as per standard operating procedure, very disoriented and nauseous as you come through the portal. You don't have the second wave of nausea from the smog and pollution this time, as you're, you feel like you're breathing air for the first time after a moment of gasping for air after vomiting and that sort of thing. Let's see. And what happens is you come out to this scene. I
was wondering whether something was.
There you go.
Let me bring this up for you guys on the stream.
All right. So we have Karen over here grazing on. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. So you guys come through the portal, which is it's actually bigger than that. It's like 40 feet wide. I forgot, my scale was off. My apologies. But anyway, so you guys come through the portal and you find you all are here.
Oh my
And
god.
there's just a bunch of men, sort of like, they seem to be sort of standing guard of some sort. And they see all of you come through, and they all sort of bow. They all sort of bow and take a knee when they see Lady Tresson as you all sort of come through. You guys hear this awful, huge, like terrible sound coming from this direction as this huge device, almost like a sort of mech type suit or something like that, except it's more steampunk, obviously. But there are these two chainsaws that it's using to cut down trees over here, and you just hear this horrible racket of these two gigantic chainsaws, and it comes to a halt as everybody sort of snaps to attention and looks at you all sort of expectantly.
I was gonna make an Avatar quote, but then I realised that the dialogue was so shit in it. It has no memorable quotes. I look at this monstrosity of machinery, and I unleash the hounds.
you unleash the hounds?
Yeah, I'm just like, I point Karen towards this thing and the stag. I get on the back of the stag, and I'm like, on to war! This headless creature burning down my forest.
Ambrose just snaps as you see him he's got a berserk.
I turn into a cockerel.
Like on top of the
On
stairs.
top of the stag, and I start riding it off.
What do the other two do?
So I'll sort of turn to Ambrose and sort of shout at him to stop. Let me handle this. Call them back now.
I'm not listening to you. I don't give a shit. This is season finale, son. Get on the team. To war!
All right.
No.
What is going on? You hear somewhere from the crowd, and you're not even sure who says it. Who is that? And what are you all doing here? And where is the acting general? As Will's character
He
is
might act like a general.
Still high as fuck.
I look frantically like, hey, he and him and No,
They just-
that one. And
They just see this giant stag riding in, and on its back is this giant cockerel screaming
Alright.
and balking madly. As this,
Well, you got this is your chance, buddy. You got them with their pants down. Let's see what the dice say about this.
I'm gonna go straight for like this mech thing, I guess.
Yeah, outside of you guys actually shooting Will or something, which you haven't told me you're doing, so I'm going to say that the window is not.
No, I think we're just gonna have to let Will have his.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
I
Stop!
think we almost ignore what Will's doing.
Oh no! Don't do
I don't even
that!
say anything. Like I just like hit
Just stroll to-
hinge my puppet thing and let it be like, no.
Let's not do the season finale combat, guys. Let's talk it out.
Yeah, let's stroll towards the guy who
Ooh, diplomacy.
sort of like who seems to be looking for the acting general.
Well, it came from the crowd, so it came from like this area, but you have no idea which one of those like five.
Yeah, so I'll head down in that direction while Will goes off and has his own personal war.
Okay. So
There's not
Will,
much I can do. Short of shooting him, there's not much I can do, and I kind of need him at the moment. So
I'll roll an energy. Okay, yeah.
roll it.
Alright then. Yeah, I'm going to America tomorrow, so I figured I should get in the mood. 14. You know, pointless wars and
Okay, 14.
illegal wars.
Still bitter that you lost.
Your cockerel form just jumps.
Oh my God.
You get this epic flying leap from the back of the stag, and your mouth is wide open as you flank into the side of this gigantic thing, and you nearly knock yourself out. As
Almost, not quite.
you are demoralized and now have disadvantage for one round
Oh,
as you
man.
smack your head into the side of the thing, nearly knocking yourself unconscious. As
He gets a 70.
you not even notice your attempt as the top half of it begins to sort of swivel around to face your direction. Okay, what else we got going on?
I'm gonna like run up to him and like try and help him up and be like, are you okay?
I balk at you.
You've got like patches of feathers missing.
Yeah.
You're a balding chicken.
He forgot to change from chicken form. and
My head has been cut off. I'm still running around.
David, okay, that's where Sydney is. Sydney's over there. That's fine.
yeah, so I'll kind of stroll towards the. I'll act as if I'm completely ignoring what's going on behind me and just
That's fine.
stroll down to try and find out who's kind of looking for me and who's probably currently temporarily.
Okay. So while that's all happening, obviously not a long chat, but an initial exchange is your turn while these two are doing that. So what do you say?
Well, just me, yeah. So I'll just say I'm the acting general, Lucian Kane. Who's it that's looking for me?
You see him sort
None
of
of
like,
these guys.
you see him look sort
I
of
dunno.
concerned.
Gary was looking for you, actually, General. He's somewhere out there. Gary?
Oh no, wait, I owe him money. No,
Just a big
what
fan. Sign this,
You
please.
see the concern cross the guy's face, like a look of confusion sort of cross his face as he looks left and right at the two flanking people that are on the other sides of him. And you just see like them sort of silently, in a very small way, trying not to be noticeable. They just sort of shake their heads no or something like that. And you get a sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach as they sort of look at each other. And we can take it back to Will then.
Sure. So, 19.
19, okay. This time you managed to not knock yourself unconscious.
That's always
However, you end up falling off of your stag as viciously attacking this gigantic thing, and your nails and claws are just like scratching at stone or something. There's no effect.
So Karen rolled a 24. Any luck
Karen,
from Karen?
okay, Karen manages to like damage one of the sort of like hydraulic connections that sort of like that connect the chainsaw main of the body to the arm or whatever.
Nice. Stag rolled a 27.
Whoa! Hey!
Stag is killing stuff. He's got his
Come on now.
horns in.
All right.
It's getting
That's
all
good.
horny.
So let's see, Karen. Okay, so Karen also does some damage to it as well.
Yes,
That's fine. And let's see, we got blah, 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 and then minus. Okay, all right, good. Noted. And then we will actually have this guy go since you've provoked him. So he sort of comes back online and turns to face all of you as Leah. You are unfortunately in the line of fire, as it were, as this gigantic thing. You didn't see this before, but like mounted at the sides of this, like the metal body, you can see like these two like turrets of some sort, and you almost think that you're going to get shot by machine guns or something like that. But instead, what comes out is a gigantic blast of fire, which covers
Been there before.
this area. So Ambrose, Lee, and Karen are all in the area. And let's see, here we go. Oh, no, that didn't work. That would have been fun. But anyway, so for this we have, let's see, okay. 20 plus 2d6. Okay. Why is that?
If everything fails, I just insert a giant banana. When did I ever say that? Is that done on the third of the third? Okay, that wasn't that long ago.
Let's go. 26 versus toughness for Leah, Karen, the Stag, and Ambrose.
Fuck. Let me check.
What?
26?
Well, at least if Will dies, it's one less thing for me to worry about. And he can start his packing early.
Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah, head off early, guys. That is the main goal of this. Yes, that's a hit against me. 26.
All right. Does that do 5 damage to anyone?
Yeah.
What?
I think probably everybody, right?
It's a 6, Sid.
So if you have a 21 or less for your toughness defense, which I assume is going to be everybody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then you're going to take. Let's see. We'll just use this. You take ongoing fire damage as you ignite, and the fire from this flamethrower seems to have caught your clothing on fire, and you are at risk for burning every round.
Fire right now.
And then the chainsaw comes to bear, as that's going to be Karen and Ambrose and the Stag. You are outside of its chainsaw range, Leah. And let's see, 2d8.
Let's fight the boss.
All right, you're lucky. 13 versus your toughness.
No.
All right, so that's that guy's go. And back to Lucian.
So, can I ascertain why these guys are looking shady at all?
You just see them looking at each other, and you can roll perception.
They all
sure.
have tokens on a pre-made map. That is how you know.
That is
Highly suspicious. And is Tresson with them, right? She's on their side.
Yeah, she is.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
19.
Called it. By the way, just want to say I did call it that she was bad at the beginning of the episode.
Who, Magdalena Tresson?
Yeah, she's totally evil.
All right. We'll see about that. So 19, you get the impression that like the reaction that you get is like surprise, sort of like this is not what they were expecting, and
Never expect a giant cock to mess you up.
A flaming.
Flaming cock.
They seem like they're sort of panicking silently as to what to do, particularly in reaction to hearing that you are the general, David.
So, is this just the two that are kind of directly in front of me, or?
It sort of goes out as a wave amongst all the people that you're looking at. You're looking in the direction, in this direction from your character, so you're talking about these half of them.
And do they have actually weapons drawn at the moment, or?
Their rifles are sort of at their side. They're sort of at ease, but they don't have anything to do to sort of fire because their weapons are easily available.
Can I look around and see if I can see anyone who appears to be currently in charge?
You don't see anyone when you look around. And you notice some of these people begin to sort of turn and sort of, they see this person go berserk over here, of course. And they're looking worried about that. And they're sort of looking back and forth between that and you, to be clear.
So I'll just address the two that are in front of me and say, where's the current commander?
Well, we understood that someone was supposed to be sent back from the Schlechtenberg to take over.
I believe his name was the Grey Archer. Welcome, Grey Archer to the adventure. You, sir, are a gentle archer and a scholar. Thank you for following.
And you immediately have a red flag that goes off in your head, as to your knowledge, nobody knew about this.
Well, yeah, exactly, because in theory, I stopped any communication before it should have happened.
Right. So this must have happened before you shut off communication.
So I'll kind of, is Lady Schlechtenberg ahead of me at the moment, according to the map?
It is right here. We'll just say that she is. Well, no, I guess she wouldn't go into the middle.
Yeah. So I'll kind of lean next to her and say something seems to be out of the ordinary here, and I don't mean the cockfighting the machine.
I'll show you.
Yeah. I'll say to her, can you throw up some sort of shield around us?
Yeah. You see her begin to take her hand and sort of draws like a circle, and you see magical runes sort of traced out from her hand. At the same time that she does that, you hear from behind you, you hear gunshots go off, as that is an epic failure. And then this one is against Lucien. And this one is against Lucien, and this last one is against Lady Tresson. 20. Okay. All of these gunshots sort of go wide, and as soon as these gunshots go off, you see the female elf that is traveling with you, the archmage. Her name is Enethul. You see she has like almost a prescience about her, like she sort of almost knew something was about to go wrong. And as she does, you see her hands sort of go out, magic sort of goes out from her hands, and you see a wave that goes in the direction of here. And, actually she's facing this way. So it goes out in this direction and actually washes over all of these guys here on this side. And as she does this, you see that the look on their face changes suddenly, as their expressions no longer have an expression of concern or worry, but they almost seem like they snap out of something, or like a mental fog or something like that. And they seem to like be disoriented, sort of looking around, and then quickly they go for their rifles as as gunshots are being leveled in their direction. The other fellow, he turns around and faces these other guys and lets loose with a gigantic blast of lightning.
As he thanks really Ted Cruz for following. Welcome, Ted Cruz, to the adventure. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar.
Oh my god.
Thanks for following, Ted. Appreciate your support, my friends, and as ever,
We support you
we supported your campaign.
and all of your Zodiac killings.
Every kill that you take is another success for us.
That's not good.
It's really me, he says. Really? I thought it might have been really, Ted Cruz. Really, Ted Cruz?
So Zarafin, this black guy with a long white beard, he turns around and you see lightning sort of escapes from his hands and sort of jumps over all these people on this side, but it looks as if the magical energy is too sort of dissipated amongst a large area, as it doesn't seem to have a terribly powerful effect on them. So now so you guys sort of lost your chance to act just because of circumstance there and talking. So back to Ambrose. You're up.
Okay. How messed up is this machine right now? We fucked it up much?
Not as much as you wish you had.
Yeah. Tell me about it. So I'm gonna try again. I've got these 3 attacks, so I'm gonna go for first one's gonna be like my energy. Then I'm gonna go with Karen. Then I'm gonna go with Stag.
All right.
The wombo combo, the triple
The
A.
wombo combo.
Indeed, that's a 5 from me.
That's you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is Karen on the 42. Yes, Karen. Yes.
Oh my gosh, you should be in sports casting with that reaction. That couldn't have been more better rehearsed. And Karen with the 42.
Karen with the 42. From out of
All
nowhere. Okay, and the Stag has got D8, so that is a 13 from the Stag.
All right, the Stag. You and the Stag managed to sort of not have any effect. You are again demoralized by your complete impotence in this battle, Will.
Well, my impotent cock is letting me down here, seeing as I am.
But Karen comes in once more with the mighty kill.
With the save.
She completely severs the hydraulic function of this one chainsaw. You are worried because there is a left side. There is a chainsaw on the other side. However, this one that she's on, it looks actually like the image, as you see like sort of fire and like sparks coming off of it as she just sort of hangs off of it, and as she sort of drops to the ground, you just see it just fly, sparks just fly everywhere from the chainsaw as it is.
I'd like to, at this point, give a public thank you to whoever who donated that few pounds to give me that pet, because it's destroyed.
This game would have ended a long time ago.
Yeah, I would have been so dead.
You would have been all been dead so many times to work for Karen.
Oh man.
And you see the rest of its body. Seems like you sort of the attack almost kind of strikes some sort of critical main line or something, as the rest of its body sort of moves in a jolty kind of a way. It looks like it's not well. Definitely fucked up. Next up is Sydney, if you want to go on that side.
Am I still on fire?
You are on fire. I almost forgot that.
Yes.
So this is how much damage all of you guys who are on fire took
My bad.
before that happened.
B.
1 damage.
Yes.
I imagine I saw it coming and used my oven mitt.
Yeah.
Let me get that for you. Pay it. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll.
I would like to stop, drop, and roll.
Okay, so you can roll a d20 as your move action. You can still take an attack, 10 or better on the d20, and you're no longer on fire.
Okay.
Get him.
Get him.
17.
Perfect.
All right, the oven mitt is incredibly handy as the items are
I
continuing.
pat myself out with it.
Let me get that for you. Oh, you missed the spot. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yep. Oh, that's the one.
All right. And you can attack if you want.
So what is the machine done for?
No, it's not dead yet. No.
All right then. I'll retaliate with more fire.
All right.
Just be like, so you know how it feels?
Fire with fire.
That's what my mom taught me.
Hey Travis.
Okay.
What's up, Bobby?
We're getting there. Everyone just.
We're getting there.
Everyone
Hold
sit
on.
tight,
Hold
nobody
your-
panic. Remain indoors. Do not think about the event.
Oh, that's great.
39?
Whoa! Hey,
There we go.
Hey, come on now. 39 minus.
Come on now.
Come on. You blast a hole right through the core of the thing as you just see the lights go out and it powers down and meanwhile this one
We chest bump.
turns to face all of you and does the exact same thing
Oh my god.
as it lets loose its own smaller flamethrower attack, and only
God damn.
damages a 12.
Karen, you need to carry the team right here, girl.
Yeah,
Come on.
come on, Karen. And then that is everybody there. So back to the other team. Lucian, you're up first.
So the guys in front of us seem to have been under some sort of spell, which has been broken by the elven mage next to me.
Yeah.
So I'll turn to her quickly and just say, were they under some sort of spell?
Yes, as she sort of like has trouble, like she can't really have a conversation with you. As you can see, she's like deeply focused on maintaining like the sort of ward that she's placed over their minds or something like that.
Right, so I'll turn to Lady Tressendell. Is it possible to spot whoever's causing this, if it's an effect which is continuing, so that we can pick them out and target them?
That would probably be a good idea. I have no idea who. You're
Have a look, so have a look around and switch my eye between various bits and see if I can see if someone, because obviously in this camp, apart from our people, there shouldn't be any magic users.
Right. Yep. So roll perception.
What do your cyborg eyes see?
31.
21. Damn, we're rolling good today.
Damn. Man. Killing me, David. Fucking me up. All right. So with a 31, you are able to spot that this person right here, they seem to be like they're holding a rifle and they're firing just like the rest. But the difference is that you never actually saw this one fire, and you see like little sort of like twitches on their face as if something is happening, but it's like it's in the same sort of, it's inner, you know what I mean? It's like in their head, whatever is going on, and you suspect that particular individual.
Do I still have time to have a shot at that individual with my rifle?
Sure, yeah, I mean, you can take a shot at him.
Get him. 1v20 or however many of these guys are. Quick scope him.
Low team. Okay. You strike him. It's not enough to take him down, but you do wound him. And
do I do at least 5 points of damage to him?
You might not have. I'm not sure. Let me check here. Versus evasion, you only did 2 points, unfortunately. So anyway, okay. So
as I kind of fire the shot, I will call out to Lady Tressendell. You know, I'll sort of him and just assume. Obviously, I can't point because I'm using the rifle.
Yeah.
Maybe able to follow the angle of my rifle towards the individual concerned.
Yeah, you used your laser sight to.
Milady, follow the point of my rifle.
Yeah. So
What?
you Oh, that's great. So anyway, she like nods and affirmation. You know, she nods like acknowledgement of your point, and turns that direction. And then who else do we have here? So these guys will go.
There's a lightning dude as well, isn't there?
Say it again. Yeah, he's gonna go. Yep. So we're gonna have the enemies on that side go first. So they're gonna roll. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll for the guys who have the blue shirts on, who are at the top left. This roll represents all of them, and they go wide in there. So this is an attack against the group of you on the bottom right from the top left, and then this is an attack from the bottom right group back, a return volley, and both sort of go wide and fail to sort of have any impact, at least not this round. The lightning mage goes, and he attempts the same thing as he did before. This time he manages to do more damage, and he actually, you see the lightning, the lightning chain begins to sort of reverberate and sort of cycle around them. You can see that they're continually being electrocuted as they are taking ongoing lightning damage from his attack. Lady Tresson turns and attacks in that direction. Let's see. So,
she's gonna go ham. Fuck. 37.
You see, she didn't want to take a risk of, like spreading out her attack, as you see her summon up this gigantic like meteor, and you just see it just drop right on top of this guy, and you literally see him just his flesh literally charred from his bones as he's just a husk as he just collapses.
He goes full Indiana Jones, Raiders of Lost Ark. Yeah.
Exactly. As he sort of collapses, and you can see as that happens. Let me give this guy a nice big red X, and these guys here. I wish I could do. What a pain in the ass. I wish I could put little status symbols on all of them. But anyway, this guy, these
guy
four here.
Right.
Yeah, what a pain in the ass.
This guy.
These five here nearest to the bridge, you see them begin to sort of like shake off whatever mind affecting thing is going on with them as this guy is killed. Back to the other side. Ambrose, you're first.
All right, there we go. The old triple again. Okay, so oh baby, a triple. My energy attack against this thing's gone, right? So we're just firing on this one now.
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah, correct.
so I move in. For my attack is again an 8. I cannot help but roll that ones. I think I've rolled 3 in a row. Karen, please save the team here. Karen rolls a 4.
Whoa!
Okay, the stag rolls 32. Okay.
32.
Okay.
Back on track.
There we go.
Alrighty, so let's see. 32. Okay. Alright.
Also-
So with the stag manages to sort of like the mechanical like legs that it has, the stag manages to run right through one of its mechanical kneecaps as it sort of breaks the kneecap backwards, and the thing begins to sort of like topple, but it's still there, but it seems to be quite damaged by that attack. Next up is the actual mech, whatever creatures go.
Does Lee go next? I forget.
What's that?
Does Leah go next?
Does Leah go next? Sure. I forget, but that's fine. Go ahead, Sydney.
Okay, is there a way that I could would I know about this machine enough to know how to quickly rewire it or
Nice.
something
Roll
like
me
that?
Roll me a learning check for that.
I'm getting rewired.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a minor action, so you can still attack in addition.
Does the stag look into the camera and say, "Oh dear"?
The
15.
stag, 15. Okay. Yeah, you have some working knowledge of these. Seeing them kind of jars your memory a little bit, and what we'll do is we'll give you advantage on your attack, as you know one of its weak points, so you can add an additional advantage. Also, we forgot to flame all of you guys. You're not all. Some of you are still on fire. D8 for.
Hannah,
Bam!
so scary. Whoa, shit. Shit.
So, who put themselves out? Only Leah put themselves
Yeah, I put myself out.
Yeah, so Leah's not on fire.
I did not put myself
And
out.
the rest of you guys are pretty.
I have written down in conditions, I am on fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Features and traits on fire.
Yes.
I am
you are.
on, 1 hit point? Yeah, okay. Brilliant.
Oh, nice. All right. So you get advantage 1. Also, don't forget you can make a focus attack. If you don't do anything other than attack, you can add an additional advantage. So that's 5d6, keep 2 between your attack specialization plus the 2 circumstance.
Get him.
Okay. What? Type out what?
5d6k2. Because attack specialization is advantage 1, focusing is advantage 1, and the bonus I just gave you because of your knowledge is advantage 1.
Okay, so energy and then 5d6k2 or just
Oh, that's your energy roll. Instead of normally it being 3d6, you have 5d6 because of circumstance.
Gotcha. Okay. Everything makes more sense now. I am totally all here.
You got this.
Totally on board.
Watch it be like 1-1-1-1.
Let's see it. Let's see those beautiful ones.
We're
Show me them
Whole
ones.
campaign arc. No players have died. We can't. We don't want to. We don't want to go out on a bad note here.
Okay. 24.
24.
There we go.
Not-
Sure.
I was hoping for like, but it's kind of like.
Not too bad. You got 1/6 that exploded. So you do manage to partially sort of you blast through, and you sort of the weak spot that you're going for, but the thing just kind of shifted at just the right moment, so you still strike and do damage, but you don't hit that like core vulnerability that you're aiming for. But anyway, you do damage to it. That's fine. Next up is we're back to Team B here on the other side. No, this guy didn't go. That's right. We got to fix that problem. So.
Damn.
So flame attack versus everybody. 29.
Good roll. Oh wait, sorry, wrong side.
I am down.
Oh man. Ambrose bites the dust. I don't know. Is everybody else still up? Because that's a lot of damage.
How much is that?
I think Karen's down as
29
well.
Versus your toughness.
What?
29 versus your toughness.
29 minus your toughness, the results to the most.
Oh no.
Are you down?
Oh yeah.
Okay, alright. Leaves down.
Minus 13. The Karen is down too.
Okay. Is everybody down over there?
Let me check this.
Oh wait. Oh wait. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Good.
Yeah, assuming the stag took the fire as well, and the stag we get down as well.
Alright.
Nope. Your girl is at 3. I'm at 3.
Oh! Yeah.
Like.
Clutch hitter.
I have not seen too many cooks that thing on Adult Swim. And like the end where the cat is like bleeding out and dying and like crawling across the floor trying to get to the machine and blood is everywhere. That's what this is right now.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed as sadly there is the second attack as the machine guns come in. Let's see, 2d10, 1 versus Leah, the machine guns, the last functioning part of this thing as it's on its sort of last legs.
It's almost as if we're at 66% capacity of the party.
22!
Okay. No.
No!
Now you're down.
No, I'm out.
Back to Lucy and Kane.
I mean, Sydney, on the plus side, you were right to be scared.
I know. It seems that so many times throughout this game I've been like, hey, let's do something, maybe not, maybe here's the logical thing, and someone's been like, psh, psh, no. And now here we are. Now we're
You
done.
didn't have to join in the fight.
So I'm guessing out of the corner of my eye,
I wasn't planning on it.
I'm guessing. Well, actually, I'm facing the other direction at the moment, aren't I?
Yeah, I guess so.
No idea what's going on back
So,
here.
do the
20
soldiers
feet
seem to
away.
be back under? Do the soldiers seem to have lost the influence of the spell now that the meteor's crushed the guy that cast it?
Yes. So they look like they are actually training their weapons. At first, you think you're a little confused because you think that they just got free from some kind of mind control, but they appear to be leveling their weapons at you. However, it turns out that it's actually slightly different direction as they're aiming at.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to do anyway. Was sort of turn round, survey. If they seem to be back under control, turn round, realize what's going on, and then just shout an order for everyone to open fire on the machine.
Yeah. Okay.
Including the group whose
Okay.
back is towards the machine.
Okay. Well, I will let that have an effect now, since we don't, we're informal on initiative, and so what they'll do is they'll take their attack against the machine right now, as they level and shoot in that direction. And 30, is that enough? Oh my God! It is at 1 hit point. As you see a hail of gunshots come in at the thing. And
So,
it's at
Lady
one-
Tressender's still got to go as well, though, hasn't she?
What's that?
Lady Tressender's still got to go.
Yeah, well, she hasn't gone yet, but I figured that I wasn't going to steal the glory from you, David, but if you want me to, I can.
Well, I can take a shot at it. If I've still got the ability to have a shot, that's fine. I'll take a shot.
Oh yeah, it doesn't cost you your action to command, just since give an order.
20.
Okay, all right. Well, unfortunately, the last bullet just kind of barely glances off the side of it, almost striking that weak point that Sydney was aiming at, but not quite.
Clearly more heavily armored on the rear.
Yeah, you're a good commanding officer, right? As Lady Tresson turns and unleashes a devastating attack that completely roasts, as you see, like literally there's like melted metal as the thing just sort of and crashes to the ground. So the other thing you can do is roll a perception roll, because clearly there's another plant who's controlling minds, because not everybody got free, remember, David? So
27.
Hey.
okay. You identify this fellow here as being the another one that's doing the same thing. Also, when this guy dies, you actually it's almost tough to make out, because he literally does just get roasted. His flesh gets roasted off. But there's a change that happens as a veil seems to sort of like part as he dies, and he is not actually in the same uniform. In fact, he's obviously one of the cultists.
So I guess I'm pretty much out of action, so all I'll do is I'll point out to the remaining members of Lady Tressendale's party that kind of just point saying there's another one, and leave it to them to try and take him out.
Okay. I will have the the archmage that we spoke of before. His name is Zerafin. He turns and you see him gather a ball of lightning in his hand as it swirls around his hand, and he sort of lets it loose in this guy's direction and completely roasts this guy. As the rest of these that are under mind control, they sort of begin to like shake their heads and sort of rub their heads as they sort of come around.
Get roasted.
Get roasted. All right, and with that, I believe it or not, as crazy as all that was, we are off initiative.
All right.
For now.
All right. So I'm dead.
Me too.
Okay, so in Open Legend, there is no negative hit points, so you go to 0, and if you get attacked while you are down, you might die. None of you got attacked while you're down, so you're all just unconscious.
Well, give me a second, I can fix that.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just sleeping right now.
And you are down for actually a while. 2d4 hours it takes to come around without magical healing. So you're out for 5 hours unless somebody heals you all magically.
I'm cuddling Karen right now.
So I'll turn to Lady Tressendale and say, I don't have any healing abilities. Could you see if you could see to my comrades while I try and work out what the hell's happened here?
You see her turn, and just like a silent exchange happens between her and Enethul, the female elven mage, as she quickly makes her way over there. And she, let's see, rolls. Oops. That's actually incorrect.
No worries. I remind you guys, things have just gone past the hour. If you're new to the show, do hit that follow button and join us. What did Morg say? How something is wrong here? How come you have a forehead? Did you get your own life form? Yeah, it's just a man bun state, alright. It will return soon. You get the horde badges by if I write anything in chat, then just click on my button. You can choose your own. There you go.
All right, so we're back. So we're good then. So she manages to bring you guys back, and she seems to be an accomplished healer. Not too difficult for her, as she sort of looks. How do I describe it? She sort of has a.
Does she wink?
Like
I mean, that's the main thing, really.
What's that?
Does she wink?
Does she wink?
That's,
Well, given your state of mind, it's very possible that as you wake up to see this beautiful elven, exotic elven face in your face, you may think that she winks. I don't know.
Okay, I get up and I make sure Karen's okay. Stroking the cat. I bring the Leia. They said Leia. Back to Princess Leia back to. I'm a her any hope now. No, I bring her up. Oh, well fought. This machine is blown up, isn't it? We did blow us up because otherwise I'm gonna have to go attack it again.
Yeah, I think they're
Okay.
both.
Yeah.
I think it's the thing under a meeting.
So yeah, I say, are there any more of these machines about anywhere?
You see like the troops sort of like look from one to the other and sort of like avoid eye contact with you when you say that.
Let's get fuck.
So I'll kind of shout to the assembled troops that, as you may have heard, I'm Lucian Kane. I've been put in temporary command of the Amaurea's Dawn expedition. On my side here is Lady Tressendale. She is obviously a member of the council and is here to assist us. Where is the garrison commander and someone who can tell me what's been going on here?
Well, we've been the garrison commander was in fact also sent out on an expedition, and as some of the others, including yourself, who we had not heard from for quite a time, he was not around to give orders, unfortunately, and he sort of nods, he sort of motions to this guy over here, who's basically dressed and has apparently almost the same low rank as everyone else, as being in command. Phineas here has taken command, but we were told that someone else would be sent very soon. So in any case, we're very glad to have you with us, General, as he salutes you.
So clearly, you've been affected by some sort of magic that's cast a cloud over your minds. Do you recall anything about what happened here in the last few days or hours?
Magic? He's sort of like, he looks sort of like from one side to the other. I don't remember any magic. Do you? And they just sort of no, not really. You said you saw some magic, is that right?
I'll just kind of look to Lady Tressendale and turn back to them and say, I think it's understandable that you can't recall what happened because of the effect that you were under.
I appreciate that, General. Yes, sir.
So what's the current situation with the camp?
Well,
what can you remember? When's the last time you can remember prior to coming to the portal to wait for us coming through?
Yeah, well, that's the last thing that I remember, and I can remember a number of. Just going about business as usual. That's pretty normal.
So why did you gather at the portal in the first place?
Well, we were told that we were to expect that around this time the new general would be arriving through the portal, and we were told to.
Who told you that?
Well, that's weird. I guess technically that. I don't really know why we knew that exactly. Actually, that is very strange. You said that there was magic afoot. I believe it now. This is very strange. I don't remember where we heard that.
So this Phineas guy, who's kind of in temporary command, I guess.
Yeah.
Have I heard of him before from the sort of men? Do I trust him, or is there someone that I've maybe worked with?
He's extremely low ranking, and he's not the general. The only thing that you know about the guy is that he's like, he's like the kind of guy who, he's just doing his job, right? Like he's just trying to get along. He's not necessarily, he's not untrustworthy by any means, but he's also not somebody who,
So is there anyone? Is there anyone in the camp that I've dealt with personally that I would trust more?
Not there's not a lot of people that you. So one of the things is because of your unique type of
tracker, basically. I'm not really in the camp that much. Yeah.
well, and your background as well. So like when you were in Schlechtenberg and that on the other world, and you were in military campaigns, you were part of very small elite groups. So there's a lot of people in the military that you don't know and know right now. None of these people are extremely well-known entities to you.
Yeah. Fine. So I'll take Phineas to side to like command tent or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
So I'll basically say to him, look, I know this is throwing a lot at you, but I have to leave on an urgent mission with Lady Tressendale, so I am going to be gone for a few weeks. However, I've given orders on the other side of the portal that no one is to come through from that side. Supplies, etc., will still be sent through, but I want them searched. Clearly, there is an outside force on this side of the gateway which is interfering with the minds of our men and acting against the best wishes of our forces. What I need you to do is just keep everyone inside the camp, double the patrols, no expeditions outside of the boundary, no cutting down trees or anything. Just concentrate.
Agreed. No going down trees.
Just concentrate on protecting the people inside the camp and ensuring that no one comes through the portal without my express orders. If I don't come back within 2 weeks, then report back that I'm lost through the portal and ask them to send a replacement.
Yes. Aye, sir. Aye, Captain. That's right. I will certainly see to it. Apologies for how things have been handled previously. I feel ashamed. Is there anything that you know that can be done to combat this magic that you speak of?
I think the only thing that you can do to combat it is to keep the camp well locked down. So by stopping anyone else coming into the camp, any strangers, etc., then you're avoiding the risk of someone outside being able to pollute your mind. So I think the sentries, rather than allowing people to get close and investigating them, they should literally fire warning shots at the people and order them to go away and come back in a few weeks when we've got better forces in place and better understood what's going on. So don't accept anyone close to the camp. If there's any expeditions out at the moment, tell them that they have to go away and camp outside of the main camp and forage for themselves. You can drop supplies over the wall to them if required, but they have to stay clear of the main camp, and they can only come back in 2 weeks' time when I'm back at the base.
Excellent. It sounds like a solid plan. I will be faithful to it and see to it. Thank you for. I appreciate your wisdom. I have felt a bit concerned, but I didn't quite know how to place my concern or explain it. So all of this makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad to hear that you have better working understanding of what's going on.
So I'll turn to the others and see if they want to add anything in particular. So Ambrose and Leah.
I say to him, these machines, looking at the broken ones that we've destroyed, are there more of them anywhere?
And he's the Phineas sort of looks at your character, David. You know, David, that there are more of them. Well,
So I'll kind of turn to him. I'll kind of anticipate Ambrose's question. I'll turn to him and say, have the engineers remove the power cores from any of the remaining machines and store the power cores separate from the machines? At the moment, they're too dangerous
And
in
then
case
blow up the power cords.
what'd you say, Will?
And then blow up the power cords after you do that.
I'll kind of just sort of like I'll say yes to do that, but then I'll tell them afterwards to store the power cores somewhere safe. Obviously, they're quite an expensive piece of kit, I imagine. But yeah, to separate the power cores, because obviously, if anyone who is operating one of those machines becomes affected, it's quite a significant risk. So yeah, tell them that all kind of logging and clearing operations, anything like that moves them outside the camp, etc., is to be shut down for the time being.
Excellent. Yes, we will ensure that they are that the power cores are disabled, as you say, General, and he sort of goes off to take care of that.
So and field promote this guy to a reasonable rank for someone who is running the camp like
Okay.
a sergeant or something like that.
Yeah.
Not something significant, but just something that at least it means that the guys might respect him a bit more while
Okay.
he's here.
Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. That should help things. Good idea, sir. As he just sort of snaps to attention there, and then he sort of goes off to and then before you go, what about what? And Lady Tresson sort of speaks to, sort of motions to the three of you, and says that I'm not sure who's holding the lamp. Who would be?
I think it was me because I sent Karen back to get it. Yeah, I think it was me.
Okay. That I wonder if that lamp might be of any help. It seems it's got some sort of protective magic on it, I believe.
Yes, it does.
Well, I wonder, since we already have lots of magical power at our own disposal,
Right.
perhaps if we leave that for the troops here, it might be able to prevent further pollution of these people's minds.
It's certainly, yeah, I think it's a good idea, and certainly
believe it.
given we're going to confine them to the camp anyway, the lamp should be able to cover that area easily enough.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, let's do that.
Cool.
Excellent.
So give Lady Tresendal inspiration for that, please.
Good idea.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I'll use it for the next attack that I roll against you guys.
Only just by Lady Tresendal, though.
No, I just mean since I'm the GM, it's like all of my guys.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Not up in here.
I'm not read your rules clearly, Brian.
Have you ever played Open Legend before? Like, I don't
Really a rookie here.
think you get
Oh.
what this game is all about.
I rolled a 42 earlier, Brian. You're probably needless, but
Have you ever even tried floating dice?
So you're probably not used to this. That's,
No, I do need to go and watch some of the streams of Brian's other games just so I can see if his players in that game give him as much grief as we do.
well, I did have Gareth in my one game, so I don't know. There's
Gab's a right troublemaker, though, we know that.
yeah,
Well,
can't trust him.
They were supposed to ask this powerful dead figure like 3 questions, and instead he just grabbed the fucking thing out of the guy's hand.
That's a good game.
That was a great moment. Oh man.
Well,
Anyway,
right.
yes. Lady Tresson has inspiration. That's very good. You guys are like, I don't know if you know this, Brian, but you're working with some very serious heavy hitters who
Yeah.
beat people over 60 before. I'm not sure if you know that. You know what I mean?
We've practiced. We've
We know the
practiced.
guy that wrote that game.
I actually know the creator of Open Legends, so
We know him. So you need to sit down. So.
Can you tell me he was a bit egotistical, though, Will?
yeah, it's all about the beard, man. All about the beard.
Oh no! Have you guys ever met anybody that's really superstitious about their dice?
Yes, yes.
I doubt that you guys can top this. I'm going to tell this is a 30-second story. I once met a guy who he proceeded to tell me about how his dice had good juju, and he called it ball juju. Well, I'm going to fast forward through the story and reveal that he in fact would touch his dice to his balls, and that was the source of luck for his dice. And I said, man, that is fucked up. And then he was playing a halfling ranger, and they were attacked by a bunch of bears that were like challenge rating like 5 in their first level or something. Like they had no business. Like they were supposed to be moved
Running away.
away from the bears. Well, he proceeds to roll 20, and then 20, and then 20, and I'm like, well, I guess you killed the fucking bear. So, but anyway,
That's quite good, though, isn't it? Because clearly his dice are rigged.
yeah,
Telling you that he rubbed them on his balls, you're not exactly going to want to roll them to test it.
exactly. It was terrifying. Man. Some of the, oh man, I have to say I'm really happy about the new dawn of role playing on the internet, where normal people can find other healthy, well-adjusted people to play role playing games with, because You know, we're all.
This is your other game you're talking about, yeah?
This is like 10 years ago before people played.
Brian told me he would never share the secret of my ball juju.
Don't do that in confidence.
He lied to you, Gareth. He lied to you.
So now that Gareth plays online, now he has to.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought Gareth was not available today. He's weird. He's like an apparition.
Just turns up.
Oh man, great. Oh, all right. So anyway.
All right, enough of story time music.
Oh God, I'm losing it. All right. That was.
What do you think I'm typing with right now?
Look, that was a formative experience for me. All of you guys, I want you to know, I was traumatized by that experience, and it's actually out of fear that I share that with you. I don't want any of you to have to suffer through such an ordeal. Terrible thing.
Yep.
So just remember, if you ever borrow someone's dice and you find little hairs on them,
Oh.
Wow.
This is, and to be honest, with you, you know, I always knew before this story that you should not touch anybody else's dice, but after this, it's a whole nother level. You know what I mean? Like, I refuse to touch the dice of any other person. It's not, you know, it's just not safe.
Yeah. Just to confirm, Brian has never been charged. So.
not that we know of. Not under the name of Brian, anyway.
No, not under the name of
Yeah.
Brian.
Well, yeah.
Will does careful background checks on OGMs.
In the U.S., we have this awesome thing called the statute of limitation.
Yep.
It's 10 years, and if you'll notice my story, it's anyway.
Oh boy.
Alright.
DJ,
I don't even know what's
DJ
happening.
says, I will never touch someone else's dice after I do that. Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. Whew. Wee.
oh. No, very serious things were happening when last
Yes.
in Canada.
Yes, they were. Somewhere. In a land far, far
so
away.
You guys were prepared to depart, as I believe you have properly arranged for the camp to be secure in your absence here.
Yeah, so I believe we'd planned to use like a small airship
Yeah.
to travel to the Elven Enclave, where maybe
Right.
just those someone.
Okay. Well, you get people to work on that. They don't sort of have one that's like sort of docked up and ready. Sucks, but with a whole bunch of people working on assembling it, because they come over in pieces because they don't fit through the portal, and then they get.
Because the engineers have been pulled off kind of the stuff with the logging machines, etc. We can get them concentrating fully on assembling that.
Yep. And Leah, you can roll engineering to help assemble one of these airships. See if you can speed up the process. Roll learning. I mean.
We're all gonna die in a horrible Bernie crash.
Honestly, like, I'm really not feeling this army. Like,
You're not feeling this
I'm
out.
really not. What am I rolling?
Learning, I think.
Okay.
Engineering of some description.
Uh,
What would engineering be for Sydney to roll?
learning.
Yeah, it's a 13.
13. Okay, that's fine. You're basically able to add yourself as a contributor, but unfortunately not speed up the process. But you don't do any damage or cause any harm. You can also roll, David. That's fine if you roll that. Learning.
I don't. That's probably not my area.
Okay. Yeah.
I roll entropy.
I fire the machines.
Entropy. Will, you can roll entropy. I'm sure that'll work out really well.
I thought we were going to use Will to inflate the balloon.
Oh man. So, all right. So it takes half a day, and I actually don't even know what time it is when you guys come through because you travel to another dimension entirely. So it will be 2d12 p.m. Or 2d12 in the 24-hour time format, and that is 7. So you get lucky and you come through at the break of dawn. And so this all takes an hour or two, so 9 a.m. and then 1600 or 1500 or whatever, 3 p.m. You're finished. The assembly of the balloon, the airship is complete.
So you're telling me that it's some kind of inflatable device which will allow us to fly like a hawk. Why don't I just turn into a hawk? Like so,
can
And
if you want.
I turn into a chicken.
Turns into a flightless bird.
Oh, we can help them fly once we're up.
Yeah, that's good. See how far you can toss a chicken and have it, because they kind of bounce when chickens hit the ground, you know what I mean?
Have you been
How
dropping
often do-
chickens out of your window again, Brian?
I mean,
Look at it go! This will come in useful when I'm writing open legend.
What you do at your hoedowns?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we would have chickens.
Chicken toss. The annual chicken toss.
See how many backflips you could do before the chicken hit the ground. Throw it up in the air, you know?
I mean, in all seriousness, though, Will, I mean, if you want to, I mean, if you could turn into a bird and scout ahead, or like you've done before, talk to birds and send one ahead, it would
Yes.
be useful.
Talk to birds. I can do that. I think I actually can now. I think I can actually speak to birds now. Yeah, I've got
Oh, look at that.
some skills in it. So yeah,
Well,
I'll chat to some birds. You know, chat to some chicks. You know, so it's see what they're up to. You know,
Okay, what do you want to know from them?
pull some
What
chicks.
information you want from these birds?
You know, their numbers. No, I like if there's anything ahead, I guess that they've heard of or seen of in the forest.
Okay, so roll your divination roll. to
I
see
have a
if-
1 in divination because fuck not doing divination. I want to speak to birds badly.
You can't.
This is
talk.
a fine reflection. Okay, 23 actually. Okay, it's pretty good.
Son of a bitch. You can't talk to birds with a divination of 1. What are you doing to me? What are you trying with me?
I took 1 point in divination so I could do it.
Hold on. Wait a second.
Oh, man.
Wait a second. Rules check. Rules check. Let's see.
Must be pretty unwieldy. You'd be surprised.
Mind sort of telepathy. Telepathy, man. Telepathy is like at the top end. You gotta have a 5 to talk to. Oh wait, telepathy. Hold on. You can. Wait. No. You can see through animals' eyes. You know,
Okay.
without.
I'll
But
see
you can't.
through
You can't
eyes.
actually speak to them yet.
All right, I'll have a look. I'll have a look. See.
All right, you have a look.
Have a
You look
peek.
through these animals' eyes, and you see just some mundane shit happening all over the place. You
Yeah.
know, there is unfortunately nothing interesting going on in the area. The best that let's see. One of the birds, something about heading back. You see a couple birds kind of headed in the direction of the Nero Galadir city that you guys had frequented before. And so you see some birds headed in that direction.
Flying home for winter.
Flying home from winter, exactly. Seems very
Brings a tear to my eye.
standard operating procedure.
Yeah, I said, well, nothing to worry about at all. Let's go. I'm eager to try your balloon.
All right. So you guys have an airship now.
Sweet.
Pretty fancy. And a general. One of you characters being a general. I'm gonna have to rein this in one of these days, I tell you. But anyway, in the meantime, you all with the good
The
general.
big question is, can we fit Karen and the stag
Yeah,
on the
you
airship?
can. Yeah, you can fit about 15 passengers. So
There
what do
are
we got
2
here?
elephants. Okay.
So 3 of you plus 2 animals plus we have 2 of each type of animal, and then
They came on 2x2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
5, and then Lady Tresson and her 3 advisors. That makes 9. So you have 6 empty seats aboard this ship.
Okay.
Anyone else want to come along?
You get the airship about 2/3 down the JRPG, so this can't be the finale.
Fly off into the sunset.
Look, we're more dynamic than a JRPG. What they don't know is it's about to be taken away from them, so it's all good. So, no combat. Oh, sorry. All right, anyway, I'm distracted by chat. We're talking about something different.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so you guys head out, and it's by the time you sort of get all loaded up and supplies on board, all the belays are properly secured and anchors and all that sort of thing. So it's about 4 p.m. when you depart here, and you guys head out. You travel until dark. And what do you want to do once twilight sort of begins to set in? What do you guys plan to do?
I'm kind of fascinated by the machine, so I'm going to just be inspecting it, trying to break it. Well, not trying to break it, but accidentally breaking it, probably.
The elven camp was about 2 days travel.
Right.
Well, and that was when we were traveling through the jungle or the forest.
Yeah, you're not an expert. I don't know. Did you want to bring anybody with you at all, or keep everybody at the camp?
No, I think we'll keep all the soldiers at the camp because they're.
Okay. So the best guess that you get from one of the engineers who helps to assemble the ship, you can have this conversation before you leave. You say it's about 2 days travel, and I think it was more like 3 or maybe even 4. But anyway, regardless.
So I assume it's like a pilot or a sort of captain on this ship anyway. So
Yeah.
what?
Well, that's what I was asking. Are you bringing a pilot? So I'll say.
Oh yeah. Obviously, we'll definitely bring a pilot along. We're not going to try and do it ourselves.
All right. Well,
So we'll bring whatever the normal crew.
I'll fly it.
The airship is. But what do they normally do at night? Do they normally continue on, or do they land?
Well, it depends. To be honest with you, really, general. It's a matter of, typically, if we're going a long distance and we know that maintaining a general heading is sufficient, and that we just need to, sort of traverse in this general direction, then we'll, sometimes fly through the night. However, in your situation, 3 days travel on foot, it's probably only a day's travel by ship, and I would worry that we might, get our trajectory slightly.
Fly over the place without seeing it. Yeah, so I'm just wondering whether it would actually be more sensible though to set out first thing the next morning rather than try and land in the forest somewhere where we can be attacked. Because at least at the base camp we've got some level of security.
Yeah.
What do people think?
Ambrose doesn't really care in terms of the party. Ambrose is fascinated by the machine.
Really introspective time on this balloon.
Yeah, this is the first time you've had a chance to not be like burdened by having to walk somewhere constantly.
Can the balloon? I assume the balloon can remain stationary at a height. Like, can they drop an anchor or something like that?
Yeah, we can drop an anchor above the trees, or anchor into the trees, or something.
Well, let's do that then. So let's not land in a clearing or anything like that, but let's take a break once we've travelled for a certain distance. That we're confident that then we'll need the next day of kind of clear daylight to be able to spot the Elven Enclave.
Excellent. Okay, sounds good.
And obviously, make sure that there's a guard on duty, a couple of guards on duty the whole time. Preferably, I would like us to split watches between ourselves, along with a member of Lady Tressendale's magic party with us, and to almost have like a 3-person watch of one of us, one of the magic users, and one of the crew.
Right.
Kind of keeping watch in cycles throughout the night.
Makes sense. Cool. Okay. So you guys, that's fine. I'm going to fast forward through the logistics here, though. So you're able to, no incident or problem. You set up a watch, and the captain advises keeping all like lights and stuff off for the night to make sure that, since you guys are sort of exposed, being up in the air where you might be spotted easily. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. People on watch don't have any issues. You guys wake up the next morning and continue on. Sort of getting a head start at the crack of dawn, sort of 6, 7 a.m. You actually get there by early afternoon, sort of 3 p.m., whatever. You ultimately arrive, and it's not hard to spot, as it's this large body of water with trees actually growing out of it. And you spot that. And in fact, it actually works out well the way they have these sort of like platforms at different heights and everything in the city, as you're able to sort of land your airship in the water. And
I'm doing this thing where like I jump out, turn into a cockerel, try and fly a little bit, and then jump back in.
Okay, yeah,
Like
that's
flying.
yeah, that's good.
Just to practice.
Inspiration, that's good.
Try and signal the elves so that they're aware it's us coming back, so that they don't, so that they're aware it's not an attack or anything like that. So
It's us, the humans.
come in really casually, kind of, and make sure they're aware of it.
Okay, how are you going to go about that?
Yeah.
Just slowly, I guess, and I guess they'll recognize us. So make sure myself, Leah, and Ambrose's characters are at the front of the bow or whatever, kind of Titanic style.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Holding me.
Very good.
The flute.
You ever know that you're mine? You just see Will,
Cue the pan flute.
his wings, his chicken flightless wings just outstretched, you know. Anyway, you ultimately make it. They are concerned, as you are met with Imladriel. Initially, from afar off, you see her with a knocked arrow, sort of aiming at this ship, not sure yet whether to fire. And then, but you sort of come into visual sight range, and she spots you ultimately before letting loose the arrow, bursting your bubble, as it were. And you manage to land safely, and she greets you all. Greetings. You returned rather quickly. I suppose this strange vessel that you all are aboard is to thank for that.
Yeah, so kind of interrupt her a little bit and sort of say, yes, we did. May I introduce Lady Tressendale, the mother of the boy that you're keeping?
Ah, very nice to meet you, Lady Tressen. As she sort of bows, and Lady Tressen also sort of bows graciously back. And yes, we have. So it's your son that you are the mother. Yes, we have. We've kept his body. Attempted to. Our shaman has attempted to preserve it magically. Though I'm not sure if you've been told about the trouble with his spirit. I'm not sure what can be done about. And Lady Tressen just sort of nods and just sort of, dismisses. Yes. I am aware. Thank you. Appreciate your concern. Can I, please? I'd like to see him. As
Let's see the boy.
All right. You all are. Let's see here. So you guys are taken over to the stasis, this one particular domicile, like a structure near Lithliathel, the prophetess or shaman. Near her own little area is this separate area where he is held, or he is kept. So you guys make your way up there, and you all are pretty shocked by Lady Tressen's reaction to all of this, as she seems to sort of take it all in stride, I guess is the best way to
She's
put it.
chill.
She seems rather stoic in the face of all of these troubles. And what happens ultimately is, she sort of goes over, and you see, as she looks on her, she looks at her son's body, you see it sort of dawn on her in a very real way for the first time, as a tear sort of begins to slide down her cheek, as you've not actually seen her cry, even though this very traumatic ordeal has taken place. And she sort of becomes very quiet for a time here. What do you guys do? There's just a sort of awkwardness about it.
I cough awkwardly.
Would anybody like any herbal tea?
That might be a good idea.
So
I
while,
pour some into
while
your
Lady
oil
Tressen's
canister.
doing that, I'll speak to the Elvins here. Sort of say, has there been any news about the Hierophant?
No, there has not been any news about the Hierophant. We've not heard about any update from the other group that we spoke of, nor have we heard any evidence or sort of sightings of more nearby Hierophant. Unfortunately, I'm sorry for that. So
Well, never mind. So, how's the boy?
Well, he is not well. His spirit is severed from his body, I suppose.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
And you see the prophetess Lithriathel, again, she has this sort of strange aura about her where, her hair seems to be almost like suspended in zero gravity, like outer space or something, and she has this golden shawl that sort of wraps around her and has the same sort of suspended, animation or something like that. And she sort of goes over to Lady Tressen, and it's a little bit shocking to all of you because she's like nobility, but you see Lithriathel just sort of put her arm around and sort of wrap this like golden shawl sort of around her shoulders, and she just sort of comforts her as she sort of is attempting to help or console her or whatever. She seems like the impression that you get from her is that she's a very much a sort of pacifist, very peaceful kind of a person. So she's
Just like Crispy Squirrel. Welcome, Crispy Squirrel, to the adventure. You're a gentle squirrel. Crispy one and a scholar. Thanks for following.
All right. So eventually, Lady Tressen sort of comes around, or actually, while the two of them while she's sort of trying to console her, the other archmages they sort of turn to you, and they sort of ask you, look, we don't know exactly what the dynamic is of what's happened, what the problem is. Can we talk about the strategy here?
I'd prefer to talk about Chewbacca tits.
Welcome, Chewbacca Tits, to the adventure. You are a gentle Chewbacca and a scholar. Thank you for following.
You are also Garrett.
Both of you.
That's a whole separate issue.
Yes, we should move on from that topic.
So they sort of step outside, away from
Yeah.
the body and stuff like that. And then, so listen, what do you all? What is the recommendation here? That we should attempt to use magic to extract this boy's spirit from this magical force that pervades.
I think if Lady Tressdale feels that she has the capability to lend her power from a point of view of pure power, perhaps to the elves who have the capability to understand the weave, that might be possible, maybe.
Indeed. Okay. Well,
That is I mean, my personal recommendation is we kill the boy. Avoid any troubles, but if we are set on this course, then so be it.
why do you and the mages seem to be in a classic sort of very intellectual like fashion? They're like, well, tell us why. Why would you do that? I'm not disagreeing. I would like to have all the evidence and all the pertinent information here. We can make this is very, very important.
I say, well, it seems a bit more of a sure thing. If we're using the magic, then it's more of a gamble. Of course, we could incur the wrath of the humans, although he's the general now, so who cares?
I think what Ambrose is saying is that obviously some of the elven parties have expressed concerns over the fact that the boy could lead to further disaster for the elves. So from his point of view, one life for many might be a safer option. But
Well,
I
he's
think
already gone, isn't he?
I think we disagree, and I think given Lady Tressendale's come in here and she's a magician of great power, if she could somehow, if the elves could somehow harness the power she holds, it might give the boy a chance.
Very well. Well, sounds agreeable.
What if we take this in a whole nother direction here?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that Lucian is the general, here's what I'm thinking.
All right. Let's hear it.
You can tell all the troops and all the machines and all that for some reason they need to go back to Schleckenberg for like a meeting, or they need to go get more weapons because we just ruined all their big tanks and stuff. For some reason they need to clear out, right?
Mhm.
But Lady Treston can stay here. When she's here, like, I'm not exactly sure what's going down in the weave, like, but if that's where her son is, she can off herself and go hang out with him. They can go over to Schleckenberg, we break the portal, and we can just, like, hang out here. And then it's done. Everything is settled.
I think you're forgetting that Lady Tressendale's a powerful member of the council.
Well, I think if the portal's not working anymore, then what does it matter?
Well, I think she would be unlikely to help us disable the portal.
She don't have to help us. She's crying over her son. She doesn't know what's going on.
It's a very strange suggestion, my dear. Are you feeling all right? You do know that Lady Treston opened the portal in the first place, right?
Yeah, and now her son is dying because of it, so she probably feels like shit.
Yeah, that's a good point. But if you give her a reason to stay on this side of the portal, then she'll probably come back, right? So with that.
Let's see what the magic users think about the option of harnessing Lady Tressendale's power first, because that may not be possible. So what's the elves' view?
Well, to be honest with you, this is a new type of magic, but manipulating arcane energy is not okay. Manipulating arcane energy is not something that we typically deal with. All right, so Will, how much time we got? Because I want to wrap it up too. So
Yeah, we got until the hour, so we're on the hour. And then we've got
Okay, all right.
to head off and pack.
So anyway, what happens is I'll summarize what they say then.
Yeah.
They say that they're basically unsure about this type of magic, but they're also, you get the impression that they have a certain confidence in the fact that, they have a great deal of experience between the four of them. Certainly they can wrangle or understand or figure out what's going on here and be of help or something like that. That's the general consensus that you get from the group.
So if Lady Tressendale's willing, then I'll kind of make that decision on behalf of the point B being the general. So we'll try that first. If it doesn't work, then we'll look at other options.
All right. Okay. So to sort of narrate at a higher level, they ultimately talk amongst themselves, the mages, and you can sense there's a conflict within Lithliathel, the Elven prophetess, because she has great compassion for Lady Tresson, who has lost her son, and she wants to help. And so, essentially, she's a little bit concerned because of, again, this whole thing of, do they really know what they're doing? But at the same time, her general idea is, if this woman has come all this way to try to help her son, then who is she to stand in her way? And she seems to give her a lot of respect as a leader, even though from another world or whatever. So what ultimately happens is they all get together, the Threathel plus the 3 archmages plus Lady Tresson. They form a circle. They begin to inscribe runes around the body of Niklaus and everything. And what happens is it takes hours for this ritual, as they all sort of, you can see all of them, some of them chanting sort of under their breath quietly, others just, extremely even pupils just sort of roll back in their heads as they go into a sort of trance and are totally lost to the world or something like that. And ultimately, it takes a number of hours, but it does eventually, sort of toward evening, it happens that you suddenly see energy begin to sort of leap up from this circle that's scribed in the ground around the perimeter. And that energy sort of begins to flow through them as a conduit, and also through and into the body of Niklaus, the catatonic body of Niklaus that's there. And this is what ultimately happens, though, is there is this it continues for a long time, almost an hour. This energy just sort of flowing as it sort of all over and as a conduit. At the end of the hour, it suddenly just kind of stops, and there is just this awkward silence and no response or reaction from Niklaus's body, as he just sort of lays there. Seems like nothing has changed. And then all of a sudden, you all, you don't know what's happening around you, as you have a vision and you fall into a trance. And in this trance, you see there's these red, so you have all these green spirit creatures that sort of have plant-like bodies. But there's also the one that you have seen that has red eyes, that has a more sinister thing, right? Well, these red-eyed spirits, you see these disembodied sort of flowing red-eyed spirits, they all seem to sort of you see darkness around you, and you just see these red spirits just sort of converging on your current location. And as they converge on their location, the only thing you see is yourself, none of your companions, and the body of Niklaus. And they seem to be centering around the body of Niklaus. And as this sort of thing happens, you see them sort of suddenly you see another figure also has red eyes, except it actually looks like the face of Niklaus. And as it's standing there behind his body, you see these other spirits begin to sort of rush into, and they sort of make his body almost like a physical form, whereas it was just this sort of swirling, sort of nebulous spirit or something like that. And as they do, ultimately they form up, and you see this as you see Niklaus, and at first you don't recognize him. It looks like some sort of unholy paladin, whatever sort of a thing. And then you see lightning and flashes of sort of blue, of a purple sort of evil looking energy, as he is basically, what am I trying to say? He seems to take form, almost as if he emerges from the weave, and it's like his disembodied spirit has suddenly gained sort of an identity. And you see all of these other spirits coming up from behind, animals coming out of the woods, out of the forest and stuff like that. They all have red eyes. And at the same time, and this is the last thing before we wrap for the entire season, you also spot you have a separate vision, and then the vision sort of cuts out, and you see somewhere in the jungle, the girl with no name is like riding her wolf, and she suddenly sort of falls off the wolf and begins to sort of clutch at her eyes, and you see her eyes go white as she sort of clutches her head, and you see blood begin to come out of the sides of her, like the pupils of her eyes, and you see like a trickle of blood come out of her nose as she sort of like balls up in the fetal position and is sort of writhing around in pain, clutching at her face. And we will leave it there for the season.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Props to 2 out of 3 players who called it. That's good.
Yeah. Nailed it. Fuck, that's cool. So thus the ends Open Legend Amaurea's Dawn Season 1. But we're back next week, playing some more Open Legend. And Brian, do you want to talk to us a little bit about that? Some horse exclusives?
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to do was to give a chance for other people to run, because I'm the only one that's run the system on the stream. So Gareth is going to be our GM. I'm excited about that. For all I bust his brass, he is a great guy, and lots of respect for his storytelling. So looking forward to that. We'll talk about our characters for that next week. We'll have a lot of the same people. We'll have almost everybody the same, plus Logan. And then plus Gareth as GM.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much to the Mock Right, or the Mock Right, for following. Welcome. The Adventure, you are a gentle scholar. Thanks for following. You're exclusive. Gareth has become the hottest of exclusives. Hot off the press. So yeah, that's happening next week, and that is called Fall of Giants. And so it's all about giants falling over, crushing people's hopes and dreams. So yeah, we're looking forward to that again. To thank Brian for running this game. It was great fun playing throughout, and obviously we know much about Open Legend, but you want to kind of give yourself a plug.
Yeah, sure. Check out the rules, openlegendrpg.com. Follow me on Twitter, openlegendrpg, and also there's Facebook too. Also, check out my Twitter for the link. It's like mightybell openlegend.mightybell.com. So if you go there, I'm actually really curious if people could help out, give me feedback. We could start a Discord channel for Open Legend, or we could do this, which is another thing. It's a little bit more like post-oriented, which I feel is good for people who want to, write an article about a character build or something like that. So for those of you who are interested in being part of an online conversation about the system, discussing it with friends, whatever, I would love it if you would jump on there and give us your opinion if you like it. We might also do Discord instead. Definitely not both, unless I get some crazy person who wants to manage both 2 different things. That's not going to be me.
Yeah. I understand. I understand that. Yeah. There we go. openlegend.mightybell.com. There you go. The link is in chat for you folks. But yes, XP, you want to plug yourself? I mean, you got a show on Tuesday that folks might want to tune into.
Yes. So Tuesday, possibly not this week, because it depends on where we
some travel.
Hopefully, because we left on a little bit of a cliffhanger with one of the characters in a little bit of peril. But yeah, we're running D&D 5e in a game called The Covenant on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. GMT, and was it 1 p.m. EST?
1 p.m. EST, yeah.
So drop in for that, or catch the replays.
Yeah. Sid, you got anything to plug?
No. I'm here.
Yeah.
Check me out on Sundays.
Yeah. That's right. And you'll see me streaming with Sid.
Sunday
Sydney.
Yes, girl.
Betches. Yeah, you'll see me streaming with Sid as of Tuesday. So you'll see you around. What else? As before, guys, I am flying over to America tomorrow. So wish me good flights and travels and whatever. Hopefully it's not too hectic and bad. I will not be streaming. There will be no Dungeon Masters Workshop tonight because I've got to go pack. And there will be no Numenera session tomorrow because I'll be flying through the airwaves over to America. So we'll be back on Tuesday. Hopefully, like I say, I'm like 65% sure we'll stream on Tuesday. So we'll find out. And then... if not, we'll
you
definitely
should
do it
follow
Wednesday.
me on Twitter because I'm gonna be like tweeting pictures of Will's birthday things that he's not gonna be able to see because he's in the air.
That's awesome.
You all can know before him.
I can get Wi-Fi at the airport, you know. I won't look.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right. Thanks, Morg. So yeah, we will see you guys back again. Not tomorrow. So sorry, we'll host someone on Monday, so you can go watch a good stream and stuff like that. And then definitely back on